Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei becomes the legendary Pokémon master together with Rias Gremory Part 3. Before we start, please go support AndresFelipeSolanoDi for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Chapter 15. Cataclysm. That day we were getting ready for the event, then when I arrived I could see two familiar and unexpected faces. Zenovia. You guys are here. Irina. We were waiting for you. Tsubaki. It's good to see you. Issei. This is a surprise. Kiba. I know. Ali. How come they are here? Kiba. I'll tell you soon, just let Issei go. Ali. As I thought it has to do with the… Kiba. Yes. Issei. How long until the big event starts? Tsubaki. About 3 hours, while you, Irina and Zenovia can go buy something at the store. Issei. Sure, no problem. The three of us quietly left. Ali. Now then, why are Zenovia and Irina here? Tsubaki. Well, I told the girls about this outing, and when they heard that Issei was coming, they wanted to join in. Kiba. Tsubaki told me that Irina is Issei's childhood friend and she has been in love with him for a long time, however she is not able to confess her feelings about her to him. Tsubaki. This is because of Zenovia. Ali. Wait, what does Zenovia have to do with Irina not being able to tell her feelings to Issei? Tsubaki. Do you know the relationship between Irina and Zenovia's family? Ali. Of course, Zenovia was adopted at the age of 10 by Irina's parents, who by the way are very religious, although sometimes I doubted. Tsubaki. Well, that's the problem, she lived with Issei for a long time until… Ali. Oh no, don't tell me that. Kiba. Unfortunately yes, she also fell in love with him. Ali. Do you both know what you feel for Issei? Kiba. Why do you think that no one has declared? Ali. Naturally it is a complicated situation. Tsubaki. In fact, the girl said that Issei's matter had already been resolved. Ali. That means one of the two will declare her love for Issei. Kiba. We are curious, regardless of who he declares himself, well you are his brother. Ali. Don't say more, I know what you mean, but I can't tell you if she will accept the proposal of one of the two or reject it. Tsubaki. That's really unexpected, I thought you knew him well. Ali. That's why I can't give you a concrete answer, my brother has always hated making others unhappy, or rather he cares about other people. If going out with Zenovia or Irina made the other sad, it would be difficult for him to live with that. Kiba. Seen from that point of view, one of the two will be unhappy. Ali. But let's see how it all develops. When I left and accompanied Irina and Zenovia to the store, I noticed they were a bit strange. Issei. Apart from the things that Tsubaki asked us for, do you want anything? Zenovia. Anya. An energy drink for me. Irina. Some potatoes. Issei. Okay, what the hell is wrong with those two? We finished buying things, but when I was about to start walking Irina stopped me. Irina. Can we talk? Issei. Sure. Irina. I have something to confess to you. Issei. Confess to me. Irina. Can we go somewhere private? Issei. Yes. I followed him. At first I wondered what it was all about, although I had some idea, possibly in fact I was deceiving myself so as not to see the truth. Because I was afraid that I might give an unsatisfactory answer, or rather an answer that would make no one happy. Irina. Well, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. Issei. Wait. Irina. Hey. Issei. I know what you want to tell me but… Irina. I knew it, you've known all this time that I like you and Zenovia too. Issei. Yes. Irina. I guess the impediment to your answer is that you don't want to make anyone unhappy. Issei. Yes. Irina. If that were not the case, you would give your answer. Issei. Of course I'm not an idiot, literally both of you seem like world-class beautiful women to me, I also can't deny that I have developed feelings for you too after so many years as my friends. Irina. I see. Issei. But I can't help but hate the idea of choosing and one of you being left suffering. Zenovia. Who said you had to choose? Issei. Zenovia, what are you doing here? Zenovia. Well, naturally to confess my feelings. Issei. But I told Irina that. Zenovia. I know, but we know you very well, so that neither of us has to suffer, we will both stay with you. Issei. What? Irina. I told you she would be surprised. Zenovia. He didn't expect it. Issei. But you two are crazy, we are in the 21st century, what you propose is something that society will criticize, as there are still problems with racism, sexuality, etc. Irina. But what does it matter? Zenovia. Honestly, the opinion of society is worthless to me. Issei. But… Zenovia. If we and you are happy with this kind of relationship, why should we care what society thinks? Issei. Eyes widen. Irina. We love you, that's not enough. Issei. But they could criticize them every time they go out for being with me. Zenovia. I always thought that a law that would limit spouses is stupid. If two women or men want to marry a person, it is totally their choice. No stranger should intervene or give their opinion where they are not called. After all, we do not harm anything or anyone. Irina. You are right, and in the Bible and history there have been recorded cases of marriages between a man and several women, incest, etc. It is hypocrisy for society to deny relationships between more people if you are in complete agreement. Issei. But they wouldn't allow our wedding. Irina. You can always go to another country, get naturalized and get married there. Issei. And his parents. Irina. Dad and mom agree. Issei. Vali was right about his parents. Zenovia. So what do you say? Irina. Do you accept us? Issei. You guys agreed on your feelings, you agreed to love the same man, society will criticize this action, life will not be easy. Irina. When has life been easy for people? Issei. Yes. It's true. I have to say they are crazy. Zenovia. Hey. Issei. But I'm crazy too. When I said those words, the two of them pounced on me, I could see that they had tears of happiness, I promised to protect them from that moment on. At the end of that confession we returned to camp and I told everyone how the confession ended, their reaction was something, well I don't know if it was normal or not. Ali. Are you crazy, retarded or have some mental problem? Tsubaki. How is it possible that you two did something like that, are you crazy? Kiba. This is really unexpected. Issei. Well, I'm glad you took it well. Ali. It's obvious that I'm taking it well. Issei. I appreciate your support, brother. Ali. I definitely think you're only hearing what you want to hear. Issei. Thanks. Ali. You are haha. Well, I have to say that our parents expected you to do something crazy when you grew up, thank goodness it was this and not murder. Issei. Did you think I was going to kill someone? Ali. Well, they say that the quiet ones are the most dangerous. Issei. Sarana. Ali. Either way you're not an idiot, you know what this implies. Issei. I know, it won't be an easy road, but when is it? Ali. True, well as a brother I support you, that's what you're going to tell our parents, don't even think I will. Issei. Good. Tsubaki. Seriously, you guys are okay with this madness? Irina. Do you remember that we helped you in your confession with Kiba? Tsubaki. On the other hand, who am I to interfere in their decisions, I wish them a happy future. Kiba. Apparently the change of mind was quick. In that case a meteor shower would begin to occur in the night sky. Issei. Has it already started? Tsubaki. No. There is 1 hour left, we can say that this is an extra. Issei. It's weird, I thought the next meteor shower would be in 2 years. Ali. I too. Kiba. I guess the scientists were wrong, although on the bright side we will see 2 phenomena of the universe. Irina. It's beautiful. Zenovia. I agree. Elsewhere. Astrologer. Is this weird? Scientist. Calibration didn't work. Astrologer. Apart from that, there is something else. Scientist. What? Astrologer. You know it's a galaxy merger. Scientist. Of course, it happens when 2 or more galaxies collide. These processes are the most violent type of galaxy interaction. During the merger, the stars and dark matter of each galaxy are affected by the approaching galaxy. Astrologer. I need to check the computer to see what activity the satellites are picking up. Scientist. Sir, you must be joking, it is literally 4 billion years before the galaxy merger between the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy occurs. Astrologer. That's the strange thing, as I see this activity is shown everywhere in the universe, or well as far as the satellite detects. Scientist. As far as I understand, there is only one universe. Astrologer. That's only because humanity has not been able to go beyond. Scientist. Please sir, we are men of science, don't tell me that there will be a fusion of universes. Astrologer. I hope not, if something like that existed, the changes that would occur would be literally unpredictable, it is an area where science has not emphasized. The event was about to start and we were all preparing in different ways. Tsubaki. There are about 5 minutes left, where are Issei, Zenovia and Irina? Ali. They went to the bathroom when the meteor shower ended. Kiba. But as far as I know there is no bathroom here, we are in the mountains. Tsubaki. The only bathroom here is the one in the store where I sent them to buy groceries and they had to go down again, but instead they went to the right towards the forest. Kiba. I think I know what they do. Tsubaki. What? Ali. Tsubaki, to the right in these mountains there is a forest of trees, 2 women and a man left, who are currently in love. I will not say that they are crazy, because that is decided by a psychiatrist. What do you think those 3 can do alone? Tsubaki. Well. Blushes. Kai. Kiba. I have realized. Ali. Yes. Tsubaki. How immoral, how do they do that before marriage? Ali. That's what the women and men of the world would answer you. I arrived with the girls at that moment, there was 1 minute left to start. Zenovia. We're sorry for the delay. Tsubaki. You too. Zenovia's clothes are disheveled, her hair is disheveled, her legs are shaking, and she's sweaty, the same goes for Irina and Issei. Ali. Well, they're on time. Issei. Let's see this big event. At that point the sky would begin to change, something majestic began to happen. Everyone's eyes trembled as they watched that great event. Irina. It's beautiful. Zenovia. I agree, it's something unique. Issei. Look at a shooting star. Ali. Okay guys, you know the rules. If you want something in the future, make your wish now. Issei. It's my turn, I want to win the lottery, so I don't have to work, or for my wives to win millions, so I don't have to work. Ali. You ask to be supported. Tsubaki. I wish Kiba to be happy. Kiba. Then I wish Tsubaki to be happy. Irina. I want to have the most beautiful wedding ever. Zenovia. I want a unique honeymoon. Issei. Leave that to me. Kiba. Your value is missing. Issei. You're going to ask for it, right? Ali. I want to be stronger in the future, I came second in the foot race. Issei. Vali, you won gold medal in all events and you only lost the foot race because that event was in groups. Ali. That's why, if I was stronger I could have dragged my partner. Issei. You dragged him. Vali. Yes, but I didn't reach the goal because my partner got loose, I was a few meters short and I won first place. Kiba. Vali let go because his skin was too scraped. Ali. Well, what can I tell you? With a little more strength, he could escape when we've already won. Issei. I feel sorry for your partner in the future. Irina. Hey, don't you think that shooting star looks very big? Issei. Hey. Wait, that's not a shooting star. Shooting stars don't come here. Ali. That's a meteorite. Kiba. Everybody run. We immediately scattered, but the meteorite fell, destroying everything around it. Fortunately we got away in time, but the shock wave briefly stunned us all. When we got up we went to see the meteorite and we realized that that thing was not a meteorite. Issei. They're all okay. Irina. Yes. Kiba. Next time let's all go in one direction instead of dispersing. Ali. In a situation like that, do you think it could have been avoided? Kiba. No truth. Issei. Hey. What is that? Ounce. Ounce. Ali. This. Zenovia. But what is it? Irina. That's what? Magikarp. Magikarp. Ali. It looks like a fish. Issei. Guys. I don't think it's the only meteorite. There were thousands of meteorites falling on the city, but we knew those were not meteorites. Then another planet was seen in the sky. At that moment we all understood that a cataclysm had begun. Chapter 16. Survival. We were all currently bewildered, shocked and scared, we couldn't believe anything we were seeing. Of course, chaos did not take long to appear, immediately there were screams, gunshots, among many other things. We took refuge in the forest. Kiba. This must be a dream. Tsubaki. None of this can be real. Ali. Everyone calm down. Issei. All this is real and it's really happening, strange creatures are coming from the sky. Zenovia. This looks like something out of a sci-fi horror movie. Irina. We must go to the city, our families. Ali. No. Irina. Hey. Ali. By this point the military must have intervened, we saw a strange fish falling from the sky, but the kind of creatures we saw in the distance in the city, they are literally monsters. Tsubaki. You're right. Issei. If we go to the city now we might get caught in the conflict and the fight between the military and those creatures. Kiba. Is this some kind of zombie apocalypse? Issei. No, it looks more like an alien invasion. Ali. Honestly we were lucky. Irina. Then we will stay here, doing nothing. Ali. In these cases, the first thing is to get to safety and then observe the situation. Zenovia. Vali is right. Issei. Wait, I heard that in this forest there is an observatory, which has a scientist and a government astrologer. Ali. What are you planning? Issei. I'll go back to the mountains for that fish. Irina. Wait, it's crazy. Zenovia. It's true, you can't risk it like that. Issei. We need to know the enemy, if I go back for that fish's body and take it to the observatory with those experts, maybe they can tell us something useful. Ali. It's risky. Issei. It's better than going blind. Ali. But only you. Issei. It will be best. You guys go to the observatory. Ali. Okay. Irina. What are you saying, Vali? Ali. Issei is right, we need information, and the body of that strange fish may possibly tell us something. Zenovia. I will accompany him. Issei. But. Zenovia. You need someone to watch your back, don't you? Issei. Yes. Zenovia. Then let's go. After that Zenovia and I separated from the group, we had to go get that fish. Issei. Why did you offer to eat? Zenovia. I'm not crazy enough to leave you alone. Issei. It's risky, we don't have weapons. Zenovia. That's precisely why I won't leave you alone. Also, just as you try to protect us, Irina and I will also protect you. Issei. Zenovia you. Zenovia. You don't have to say anything smiles. Issei. Smiles well let's look for that fish. Zenovia. Hey. But what happened here? We arrived at the place where it fell, the trees around the mountain area were destroyed. Issei. It's like something happened here. Zenovia. Look at that, on some trees there is ice. Issei. How is that possible? It doesn't even show signs of melting. Zenovia. Also look at that. Issei. The place where the fish fell, I see signs of dragging like a big snake. Zenovia. Do you think that fish is not just a fish? Issei. You mean he mutated and turned into a gigantic monster? Zenovia. It's not that far-fetched considering the situation. Burst. At that point we heard an explosion in the distance. Zenovia. Let's go. Issei. Zenovia wait. So when we arrived we found the gigantic monster we were talking about. Gyarados. Gyarados. We found him fighting, seeing his size and appearance we thought he would win, then we were wrong, he had as an opponent something that at that time we did not know what it was. Regis. Regis. Zenovia. What is that? Issei. I don't know. We didn't understand their words, but we did understand that they were communicating with each other. Even though their words were not the same and it seemed like they only knew how to say their names, it was definitely obvious that they were talking to each other. Zenovia. This. Issei. Zenovia you're shaking. Zenovia. You too. Issei. It's the temperature it's cold. Zenovia. I know it's nighttime, but this cold isn't normal. Issei. It must be that guy over there, it must also be the one who threw those pieces of ice at the trees. Zenovia. We're not close to him and I feel like I'm at 0 degrees. Issei. Not only that, look at the ground where he walks, it's freezing, making contact with something like that for a human must be lethal. Zenovia. What do we do? Issei. Let's not move for now, if he doesn't see us we'll be safe. When there were no words between them, it was all over, that icy thing had killed the big monster. He turned to where we were, approached slowly and when we thought we were finished, a huge roar was heard in the distance and caught his attention. He immediately left, as if he had been called by something. Issei. Thank God we won't even count it. Zenovia. Plus, I think we got something better than fish. Issei. It's a joke, right? Zenovia. Wait. Look at that. And that we could see that something was shining in his stomach. Issei. It could be what that thing was looking for. Zenovia. That means this thing took something it shouldn't have. Puts hand in. Issei. How disgusting. Zenovia. Someone didn't go to science class. Issei. Yes, it was the most difficult to maintain an average of 6, considering that I was not going. Zenovia. Ready. This is. Issei. A blue stone. Zenovia. Has a strange symbol. Issei. Keep it, for now let's think about how we will take this guy to the observatory. Zenovia. It's huge. Issei. Have you exercised? Zenovia. Irina and I practice fencing, naturally. Issei. I think if we look for the right way we can move it by surrounding it, if it's really bad we drag it little by little. Zenovia. Sounds good to me. It was then that after 2 hours, we arrived at the observatory with the corpse of the creature, everyone was surprised to see it. The astrologer was checking the computer and the scientist was disappointing the creature. Ali. They were lucky that she was found dead. Issei. It wasn't luck, it seems that thing got into something it shouldn't have. Ali. With what? Issei. I don't know what it was, how to say it, it seemed unreal, pure ice. Ali. Calm down, honestly with what we've seen in these few hours, anything can happen. At that we all heard the astrologer shout. Astrologer. This is amazing. Irina. What's happening? Astrologer. Fascinating, very fascinating. Issei. It seems that guy discovered something. Ali. Let's ask. We approached carefully, the guy looked like he had lost his mind. Issei. Are you okay? Astrologer. More than good, he has possibly made the greatest discovery in the universe. Ali. What do you mean? Astrologer. I have a clear idea of what is happening. Issei. You say. Astrologer. I didn't originally believe it either, but this confirms my suspicions. We are experiencing a fusion of universes. Ali. Wait, fusion of universes? Astrologer. Like galaxy mergers, but on a much larger scale. Arena. I thought there was only one universe. Astrologer. Scientists have always suspected the possibility of the multiverse. Issei. The multiverse theory, yes, I've also heard of it, but it has never been confirmed yet. Astrologer. That's right, it was thought to be just nonsense, but all these events confirmed it. Ali. But I don't understand, if this is the same as a galaxy merger we shouldn't be dead. Astrologer. That's the fascinating thing, the universe we are merging with seems to have different laws than ours. Ali. Like the laws of physics. Astrologer. Exactly, of course they also have laws of physics, but apart from that there are other laws that make up their universe, in addition to having a totally different energy than our universe. Issei. Does it mean something that gives them powers like comic book superheroes? Astrologer. It's a very simple way of looking at it, but if. Zenovia. It makes sense, after all Issei, and I witnessed the powers of those creatures. Astrologer. Well, it seems that because of those laws and energy, the fusion of universes is not being violent or destructive, it is more like their universe is overriding ours. Ali. How to put a sheet of paper on top of another. Astrologer. Exactly. Ali. So the world we see in the sky is. Astrologer. What I can tell you is a hypothesis based on the information I have at the moment, I don't know how accurate it is. Issei. You say it calmly. Astrologer. Possibly something happened in the multiverse, that something led to the events we are experiencing, are you understanding me now? Zenovia. Yes. Astrologer. Well, with a fusion of universes of this type, we can possibly say that everything will fall into place. Arena. Wait, what's this about putting yourself in their shoes? Astrologer. Think about it, if the contrary universe is merging in a non-aggressive way, it is overriding itself, like putting one sheet of paper on top of another, it is not difficult to think about what is happening. Ali was the first of us to notice, which horrified him. Ali. That's crazy. Zenovia. What's wrong, Vali? Giba. What's going on? Tsubaki. Did you do something, right? Ali. What is the difference when putting one sheet on top of another? Giba. Hey, well, if both sheets are blank there is no difference, they are exactly the same weight maybe. Ali. Yes. Issei. Everything is falling into place, that means the stars of your universe are falling into place over the stars of ours. Arena. Wait. If that's true, then that planet we see in the sky. Astrologer. That's what they think, it's possibly the place where those creatures come from, and geographically that planet is located in the same place as the Earth, which means that soon our worlds will collide. Zenovia. Then it won't be the destruction of the Earth. Astrologer. No. As I said, thanks to its laws and energies, the fusion is not destructive or aggressive, but there could be changes on this planet. Also. Issei. Besides what? Astrologer. Until now, several creatures have fallen from that world to ours, but when the two worlds are one all the creatures that walk in that world will appear in ours, in the place where they are geographically located and is similar to our world. When we heard that, we were all immediately speechless, until now there were not many who had fallen from the sky like meteorites, but when their world was overwritten by ours. We understood that it could be total chaos, we were talking about billions of creatures with abilities beyond those of humans. Issei. How much time is left for that? Astrologer. At most 6 hours. Scientist. Sir. Astrologer. Yes. Scientist. In the middle of the dissection I received a call from the government with global information. Astrologer. Tell her. Scientist. These creatures have fallen all over the world, some of them are colossal. All countries declared martial law, and some of them have decided to use the nuclear option against their own country. Issei. What? Scientist. Some creatures are strong, but not like the others, truly strong or like walking calamities, governments have decided that killing them at any cost is their number one priority. Issei. But why use nuclear weapons, they are not gods. Scientist. I don't know either, I told them we had the corpse of one of those creatures, they will send a helicopter to this location to pick us up. Issei. What has our country's government said? Scientist. They also opted for the nuclear option. Issei. And the civilians. Scientist. Now everyone is on their own. Zenovia. Our relatives, our parents, don't they care about them? Scientist. I am like you, I don't understand why this decision, but either we leave or we die. Astrologer. You young people are important for the future, you cannot waste this opportunity to live. Issei. Mom. Dad. Book. What choice did we have? Did we even have a choice? No, this was out of our hands. We are humans, we are not gods, we couldn't do anything, and we couldn't do anything. The helicopter arrived, picked us all up, and it was then that we saw the missile coming in the distance. Issei. Cool. Irina. This is unfair. Zenovia. Why is this happening to us? Ali. How did we get to this point? Giba. This is. Tsubaki. Please God. There was only lamentation, but at that moment we all saw the target of the missiles. Seeing those things, we understood why the government opted for the nuclear option. Possibly in the entire history of humanity, I have seen the beings closest to God. The missile hit those monsters, but then, even if only for a second, we all saw them rise into the sky. The nuclear weapon was nothing to them. The war between them and us had begun. Chapter 17. Discoveries. We took refuge in an underground bunker. The nuclear attack had not worked. According to the information that reached the bunker, those things had become angry. Our worlds finished merging. As a result, there were billions of those creatures. Our planet had now expanded twice its size. The government decided to launch its entire nuclear arsenal, realizing that although the most powerful creatures survived, the smaller ones did not. All governments, from all countries, opted for the same thing. They would wipe out as many creatures as they could. This is how a global nuclear bombardment was launched. That day the world saw its end for the first time. The radiation contamination would take 200 years to clear. They thought that if the explosion didn't kill the larger creatures, the radiation would. But unfortunately for them, the creatures' powers were such that they wiped out all the radiation from the planet in a few days. Of course, this left the most powerful creatures very weak, but what was the point? We didn't have any weapons capable of killing them. Furthermore, among the smaller creatures, there were some that were just as powerful, or more so, than the larger ones, and they were able to protect most of the creatures from being exterminated by nuclear attacks, but not all of them. As a result of all these events, we humans foolishly declared war against them. Then a fight for survival began. Irina. Why did you volunteer to leave the bunker? Issei. Food is running out, there are many people sheltering, soon the disputes over food will begin, naturally we must go out to look for food. Zenovia. Even if that's true, are you sure we should part ways with Vali and the rest? Issei. It's the best, if each one does a specific task we will advance more. Vali will be in charge of collecting information. Irina. What will Tsubaki and Kiba do? Issei. For now keep the people in the bunker calm. Zenovia. With those creatures outside we must be careful. Issei. The power of those things is such that they easily restored nature. Irina. We also have to see if there is no difference between their nature and ours. Issei. True, after all our worlds are different. Irina. Now that I think about it in more detail, if our universes are now one, do you think that? Issei. I know what you're trying to say, but I hope there aren't more of those things in outer space. Zenovia. I agree, the mere thought that there could be more of those things in outer space scares me greatly. On our long journey we managed to see some ruins. It was strange because on Earth this type of ruins did not exist. Then we quickly understood that those ruins belonged to the world of those creatures. Irina. We're going in, right? Issei. We need information, there is no other way. Zenovia. They seem empty too, which means it's safe, or so it seems. Issei. This fusion ended up enlarging the planet and bringing things from the world of those creatures to us. Irina. It's strange, the ruins seem to have been built by humans, but if there were humans in the world of those things they would be here. Issei. I suppose that upon entering we could resolve our doubts. Be careful where you step, and if you see something strange do not hesitate to let us know. Although the ruin seems normal, it may not be. We got in without any mishap. The ruins were old, but showed no signs of falling apart, which was great because it meant we could walk around without any worries. Upon entering we could see writings in our language. Issei. This is. Irina. How is it possible? Zenovia. Says, History of the Human and Pokémon World. Issei. Pokémon, is that the name of those creatures? Zenovia. Look there. Issei. It's a narration. Then I started reading out loud and was shocked by what I read. Zenovia and Irina were also surprised. Hello everyone, my name is Arjun Gregorio Cuordo. If you are reading this, it is because the plan worked and the children are safe. But if these words remain as an echo in the wind, it means that the plan failed and I possibly died. Then this story will be forgotten like many others, because there is no one to tell it and listen to it. And if by chance you are just a stranger who miraculously survived and made it this far, I ask you to kindly read my story, although it may be long as it dates back almost to the beginning of the world. Irina. This is. Zenovia. Apparently there were humans in her world. Issei. Curious. Irina. What's wrong? Issei. It's clear that something was happening to humanity in his time, maybe that's why there are no humans in that world. Zenovia. We return to the bunker and we tell the military about this, surely this information is crucial. Issei. Not yet, I want to see the whole story. Since the beginning of time, humans and Pokémon have coexisted in peace. Pokémon are creatures of all kinds of shapes and sizes that live in the wild or alongside humans. There are different types of Pokémon, each species has its respective weaknesses, although some Pokémon are unique, most Pokémon only speak to say their names. Although that changes when you make a contract, when that happens you understand the Pokémon perfectly, it's like you're talking to people. So that day for the first time, we learned about contracts and especially how to turn the situation around in this war. Arena. So if we make contracts with those things, we can fight. Zenovia. Not only that, we'll be able to increase our lifespan. Issei. Certainly this information is more than vital. Arena. I think with this information we could go back. Issei. Not yet, I want to continue the story, I want to know what happened to humanity in their world. In the past Arjun Gregory IV, was lucky, I managed to make a contract with a legendary Pokémon, I firmly believed that my duty was to see the eternal progress of humanity. But in the end I ended up seeing their own self-destruction, humanity progressed alongside the Pokémon in an excellent way, unfortunately for the time when humanity reached its scientific peak, they wanted to play at being God. They wanted to create a vaccine that would give eternal life without the need to make contracts with legendary Pokémon, as a result they created X-27, a deadly virus that only affected humans. The virus was fast and lethal, those infected only had 24 hours to live, after that you died. The virus also had the quality that your corpse disappeared without a trace after 3 hours. Many families were unable to bury their loved ones. All kinds of isolations, cures or quarantines were tried, but they didn't work. We created the worst virus, and it continued to ravage humanity. Of course, the exception was those humans who were immortal like me. In the end, it was decided to isolate all the children and put them in safe underground facilities. In the end, it is believed that the virus will disappear on its own, in about 2 or 3 years. If this works, immortal humans like me will guide those children to repopulate the earth. If this fails, I and the other immortals will end our contracts and accompany humanity into death. When I finished reading I didn't know what to say. Issei. That's it. Zenovia. So that happened to humanity and the world of those creatures. Arena. It is clear that the ruins are very old, perhaps before he wrote his story about him, possibly he recorded all the events he saw or experienced in his immortal life. Arena. But I don't understand, if there were more immortals they could have repopulated the world among themselves. Zenovia. Like Adam and Eve. Arena. Exactly. Issei. That's assuming that there were women among the immortals, if there weren't any, it's normal that that option will be ruled out. Zenovia. It's true. Issei. There is also the fact that if they had resorted to that option, as immortals that they are, they would have to see their children and their children's children die, basically see how all the generations coming from their flesh and blood were born and died, one could live with such a weight. Arena. Now that you mention it. Issei. Let us remember that in the biblical story Adam and Eve were lucky, they were not immortal to see how generations of their lineage die or kill each other. Zenovia. True. Issei. Well, we found a great source of information, let's go back and tell the military of this place. Arena. It's a shame we didn't find any food. Issei. We can still hold on. We then left the ruins calmly, but outside there were hundreds of Pokémon waiting for us. Zenovia. Damn. Issei. This is bad. Arena. Her eyes show aggression. Issei. Honestly it's hard to know how long those creatures called Pokémon have gone without seeing humans, added to the fact that the humans of this world did not give them a warm welcome. Arena. What do we do? We thought we were lost, but whether by luck, chance or fate, we managed to save ourselves, all thanks to Zenovia. A blue glow came from her, it was so strong that the Pokémon, upon seeing it, changed their aggressive posture to a submissive one. Issei. Zenovia, how do you do that? Zenovia. I didn't do anything, it was this. Arena. What is that? Issei. The stone that was in that thing's stomach. Arena. You're talking about the gigantic monster they brought to the lab. Issei. I thought you gave it to the military. Zenovia. At first I thought so, but for some strange reason I felt like I shouldn't. Issei. Either way it's a fortune for everyone that you had her. Arena. Hey look. The Pokémon seemed to want us to follow them, so we did, and they took us to a place full of food. Arena. Watermelons, oranges, there are even berries, but I don't recognize them. Issei. Those berries must be food from their world. Zenovia. They taste good. Issei. Hey, what are you doing, silly, what if they're poisonous? Zenovia. It doesn't seem like it. Issei. Heavens. Irina. We got food and information, we can return calmly. Issei. Yes. But Zenovia. Zenovia. Yes. Issei. Whatever you do, never take out or show that stone, it could bring trouble. Irina. Issei is right, we are no longer in a world where the law is still active, after this, all people will become warriors. Zenovia. I understand. Issei. Well, I'll go pick up some fruit for the road. Zenovia. Okay. Irina. Zenovia, can I ask you something? Zenovia. Sure. Irina. What was the strange reason you felt for not showing or giving that stone to the military? Zenovia. I do N''T know how to explain it, when I saw her I felt an extreme calm and tranquility, as if I were in the sea, I was captivated by this resplendent sapphire color, don't you feel qualquer cosa? Irina. No, in fact, looking at her I can certainly say that she is abnormal, but she doesn't cause me any strange sensation. Zenovia. Why would it be that I do? Irina. Also be careful, we don't know what effects that stone may have. Zenovia. Don't worry, what could go wrong with having this stone? Zenovia did not understand the importance of that stone until later, in fact none of us understood it until the events occurred, its importance was such that it involved all of us in those events, it was a blessing or a curse. For Zenovia that stone was the beginning of her destiny, unfortunately just like life, destiny is not fair, not everyone can bear the weight of such a destiny. What followed next were events that changed me, my brother and everyone. I lost many things, in fact, things that I hadn't lost since the world changed. In the end, I ended up in the middle of madness and lucidity. I broke my promise, for the first time I could not protect what was precious to me. I felt anger, rage, disappointment and helplessness, they turned me into a man who broke his word, maybe I could have done something, but it is useless to regret the past. Zenovia made her decisions and I made mine, in the end we could only live with the consequences of those decisions. The blue ocean, it is so bright and shining, but how many can bear its weight, how many can cope with it? The sea is free, bold, uncontrollable, brave and wild. All those who pursue that shining blue must have the courage to bet their lives. If you win you will be one with him and if you fail, you will be devoured cruelly and without any mercy. Chapter 18. Tragedy. Since we got the information about the Pokémon, the tides of war had been balanced. It turns out that in those ruins, there was additional information about the Pokémon and the contracts with them. Also thanks to the stone that Zenovia possessed, a safe zone for humans was established. Of course, no one knew that the safe zone was due to the stone that Zenovia possessed, after all, in the current situation of the world, no one could be trusted. Irina. Things are calm at the moment. Issei. Now that the military has established contracts with the Pokémon everything has become easier. Zenovia. Everything seems to be going in the right direction. Ali. But not for long, remember that the information of the contracts has spread throughout the planet. Irina. What do you mean? Ali. Right now we find ourselves in a world where governments have been destroyed and law does not exist, the only thing that prevents chaos among us is a common enemy. Issei. The Pokémon. Ali. Exactly, there are still important people like presidents, but that's all, in today's world their authority means nothing, you know why, right? Zenovia. Why did we reveal the contract information? Ali. Correct, right now Pokémon are more effective weapons than bullets or nuclear weapons. Issei. You mean when this war is over, humanity will fight itself? Ali. No. Humanity is not patient enough to wait for the end of war, after all, there is always the madman for power or the idiot who becomes arrogant when he has it. Issei. True. Vali, do you think that soon we will have to kill humans? Ali. Yes. That is an undeniable truth. Irina. That's it. Kiba. It seems like they are talking about dark things. Issei. Well, as always one must be prepared for the worst scenario. Kiba. And why don't you think about the best scenario? Issei. Because when you put humanity in that scenario, the best is never the realistic one. Kiba. True. Ali. Where is Tsubaki? Kiba. She is establishing a contract nearby. Issei. Doctor. Kiba. I made mine recently. Zenovia. It seems that you and Vali are the only ones who haven't established contracts. Issei. Yes. I'm going to get some air. I walked away from the boys to get some air, I honestly had a lot of things to think about. Kiba. Is there something wrong with Issei? Ali. He needs time, a contract is something serious for him, after all, since the Pokémon came they only brought him calamities. Irina. I understand, our families died for their arrival on Earth. Ali. Right, he's trying to digest that and I'm just waiting for him, when he's ready we'll make the contracts. Zenovia. Are you waiting for it? Ali. What can I say, if I start a race one like to be fair and start at the same time as all the runners. Tiba. It's an interesting metaphor to describe their sibling relationship. As time continued to pass, more ruins were discovered in the world. These had names written on them such as Johto, Hon, Kanto, etc. We quickly understood that those names belonged to places in the world where the Pokémon came from. We learned more about them. Not all Pokémon were the same, there were divisions of rarity between them. Then we learned what legendary Pokémon were and the power they could wield. In their respective places, some were worshipped as gods. Ollie. Things aren't looking good. Tiba. The war continues and we are still tied. Issei. They knew that the superiors are interested in another target. Ollie. Do you mean they have something else on their mind besides winning the war? Issei. Yes. Ollie. There is certainly no rush to win the war. After all, if that happens, disputes between humanity will occur. Tiba. Even in the current war, they are already seeing. Issei. For better or worse, war keeps humanity busy fighting each other. Tiba. A way must be found to prevent that. Ollie. Surely the superiors know about this and already have a solution. Issei. They have it, but I don't trust them either. Ollie. What you say have to do with the other objective, right? Issei. Yes. Tiba. But what is your goal apart from winning this war? Issei. Get a legendary Pokémon. Tiba. What? Ollie. I knew it. In the end, if countries want to restore their previous government, they need power. Ours was the first to take the initiative. Issei. They also make sure there are no disputes. Ollie. Exactly, whoever has the maximum power will decide the fate of what will happen after the war. Tiba. The good thing is that you and Issei have already established contracts. Ollie. It took Issei a long time, but he already accepted it. Issei. Although it is difficult to get used to it. Ollie. I agree with that. Tiba. They will get used to it soon. Issei. Things seem to be normal for now, but don't be too confident. Tiba. If something strange happens, I will let you know. Issei. Okay. Things seem to be staying calm, but that's always the case before the storm. We continued to fight and fight in this war that seemed to have no end. Neither side wanted to negotiate. My biggest concern back then was just one thing, that the legendary Pokémon would start moving in this war. If that happened, the tie that we were barely managing to maintain would be broken. Then the Pokémon would take ground. There was also Zenovia, and that stone had a bad feeling, but I decided to ignore it. Things between us were fine. But then Arena's accident happened. It was a simple mission to explore new ruins that were found. More information would not hurt us. After all, to win a war, information is crucial. We weren't worried about the mission. After all, we were accompanied by an elite team and the ruins seemed harmless. It must have just been a normal exploration. But it was not like that. Zenovia. This place gives me a bad feeling. Issei. Calm down, the ruins are always gloomy. Arena. That's true. Issei. Also, the elite team is deployed all over the place. Nothing bad will happen to us. Zenovia. I feel more confident being with friends than with soldiers. Issei. You don't interact much with them, don't you, Zenovia? Zenovia. I honestly don't find them trustworthy. Issei. I agree with that. Arena. In any case, if they had wanted to kill us, they would have done it already. Issei. Oh no, him. Zenovia. What exactly are we looking for here? Issei. Information of any kind, or something that might seem suspicious. Zenovia. If it's the second, what do we do? Issei. It would be best not to touch him and wait for the elite team. Zenovia. I understand. Issei. Wait. Arena. What's wrong? Issei. The road splits here. Zenovia. 3 routes. Arena. The logical thing is to separate. Issei. I don't think it's a good idea. Arena. We have contracts with Pokémon now, we can easily fight or escape in case something happens. Zenovia. Arena is right. Issei. Good. We parted. Arena's words were logical, but I wish I hadn't heard them. Arena. Zenovia is right, this place gives me the creeps. Are you there? Arena. Hey, where does that voice come from? Perhaps you are looking for the truth. Arena. What are you saying? You're a seeker of truth. Arena. I don't understand what you're saying. Do you despise the truth? Arena. Hey, I still don't understand, but no, I think that the truth is necessary for the world, although the truth has many meanings. How is that? Arena. For example, every person has their own truth, that truth is attached to our words, works or actions. Are you true to your truth? Arena. And? Are you pursuing a truthful world? Arena. Maybe so, but I feel it's selfish, since my truth is related to the people I love. Only someone who is faithful to his truth is able to sincerely admit his selfishness. Arena. What? Finally I found you. At that moment a white orb was seen in front of Arena. She was amazed when she saw it and felt attracted to it. Arena. How strange. My legs move by themselves. Maybe this is what Zenovia felt with that blue stone. Arena touched the orb, and when she did it began to take on a reddish color. Issei. Arena, get away. Arena. Issei. Zenovia. What the hell are you doing, idiot? Arena. Zenovia, I don't know what I was doing. Zenovia. This is no time for explanations, get away from that thing. Arena turned to look at the orb again, naturally when she did she realized the situation. But it was too late, the orb exploded in a huge burst of fire. Zenovia. Arena. Issei. Zenovia, we have to get out of here. Zenovia. Let me go, I have to go get her. Issei. Zenovia, we have to go. Zenovia. Leave me alone. Zenovia wanted to go towards her, but the fire was spreading, so I had to force her out of her. As I walked away with Zenovia, I saw with my own eyes how Arena's body was reduced to ashes. I wanted to cry, to scream, but I couldn't. If I did, Zenovia would go to her and burn herself. She wasn't thinking, and I had to be the rational one, even though inside I wanted to scream. By the time it was over, the elite team used their members who had contracts with water-type Pokémon to put out the flames. At the end we returned to the room where we met Arena. Captain. Can you tell me what happened? Issei. We separated, Zenovia's path was blocked by debris, there was nothing in mine, so we went to Arena's. When we found her she was touching a white orb. Captain. And then? Issei. Then fire, I saw her burn, she didn't deserve to die like that, she didn't deserve to die that way. Captain. The team found no trace of the orb you mentioned, nor Arena's corpse. My theory is that the orb was a trap that her friend activated and then the fire burned her to ashes. Issei. If only I knew what I was thinking when I touched that thing. Captain. The ruins so far have been mostly enigmatic, this is the first ruin in which we found a trap, this information will be useful for us to be more careful in the future. Issei. They found something else in these ruins. Captain. No, nothing, if there was something here, it's not there anymore. Issei. Thanks. Captain. We will escort them to the base, I think we should be more careful from now on. Issei. Okay. When we returned to base, the captain gave everyone the news of Arena's death, the boys naturally got angry. Tsubaki was crying, Kiba was yelling at the captain kept his head down, he couldn't look Kiba in the eyes. Bali remained silent, looking at me, I didn't see him, but I knew he was looking at me. In turn I looked at Zenovia, she remained silent the whole time. Arena was one of the people who had been most useful in this war, after all I, and Zenovia had provided vital information that gave humanity the strength to fight this war. Naturally Arena was an important person, her funeral was grand and with honors. But for me honor didn't matter, honor wouldn't give her back to me. I couldn't help but see Zenovia at the funeral, her gaze was empty. I couldn't help but wonder if he hated me, after all he hadn't talked to me all this time. By the time the funeral was over, I went to my personal room and lay down on the bed, although I couldn't sleep. Then at that moment someone came through the door of my room without knocking, that person was Zenovia. Issei. Zenovia, what are you doing here? Zenovia. Issei, you can make love to me. Issei. What? Zenovia. I want to see if you can forget pain with pleasure. Issei. What are you saying? Zenovia. I wanted to try alcohol, but I don't like it. So I thought Hex would immerse me in pleasure to forget the pain. Issei. Zenovia, I don't. Zenovia. Please Issei. Please. I want to see if I can stop the pain. I saw her cry, and when I saw her up close I could see her swollen eyes. I hadn't been able to notice that detail because I saw her from afar, but up close it was easy to notice. She had been crying incessantly, as for her request, I could not refuse, after all I broke my word that I would protect Arena. Issei. Okay Zenovia, eat. So I agreed, we both immersed ourselves in pleasure, trying to forget the pain. But like alcohol, it wasn't meant to work. Still that didn't stop us from continuing to ignore the pain. Chapter 19. Sanity or Madness. After what happened, Zenovia and I immersed ourselves in pleasure to forget the pain. But at the end everything was still the same, the pain prevailed. Issei. You're better. Zenovia. No. Issei. I assumed so. Zenovia. I see. Issei. Do you hate me? Zenovia. Why? Issei. It was my fault that Arena died. I couldn't protect her from her. Zenovia. No. I don't hate you. And it's not your fault. I agreed with Arena's decision. It's my fault. Issei. No. In the end I also agreed instead of refusing. I also prevented you from going to her. Zenovia. But you saved my life. In the end if I had gone to her I probably wouldn't be here anymore. You're the one who thought rationally at that moment. Issei. Zenovia, I'm sorry. Zenovia. Don't apologize. Issei. I can't help it. I should die. Zenovia. Shut up. Issei. Hey. Zenovia. You're the only thing I have left. Please don't say that. Issei. I'm sorry. Zenovia and I spent the night crying. In the end we asked our superiors for a break from missions, taking into account that we both had a relationship with Irina. Naturally they did not refuse. We needed time together, time to cope with the loss of Irina. Zenovia. The sea is beautiful. Issei. Yes. Zenovia. This will be difficult. Issei. I know I'm not so stupid as to not recognize that Irina's loss has broken our wills. Zenovia. But for Irina we have to try to continue. Issei. I agree. That's how time passed, little by little we moved forward, losses are not overcome overnight. I think it took us a year to accept everything, then the relationship between Zenovia and I was stronger, not to say unbreakable. Zenovia. Do you want to eat something? Issei. Sure, then we could take a break in bed. Zenovia. Smiles even after being alone with me all year and doing it every night, you still want more. Issei. Does that bother you? Zenovia. Not at all, in fact I love it, but only because it's you. Things between Zenovia and I were fine, soon it was time to go back. Bali kept us informed about the war situation, coming to visit us once a month. Issei. How are things going? Bali. To be honest, we're still tied. Issei. I expected it, and how is the superior's goal of getting a legendary Pokémon? Bali. In fact, many locations have been found that contain a legendary Pokémon. Issei. And why don't the superiors advance? Bali. Don't think they haven't tried, but the result was not positive. Zenovia. I guess they've lost a lot of men. Bali. Yes. The power of the legendary Pokémon is almost divine. Issei. I was afraid of it. Bali. But it is not only because of their power, they have a higher intelligence than the rest. When they tried to capture one with a forced contract, he easily broke free and killed the one who tried to make the contract. Issei. I guess trying to make a forced contract with a legendary Pokémon is suicide. Bali. It is believed that for it to be effective the person must have a strong will, or the legendary Pokémon must be tired. Zenovia. The second is easier than the first. Bali. I agree, but in our current situation, weakening a legendary Pokémon is nothing more than a dream, and there are reports that such Pokémon are on the move. Zenovia. So it's possible that the legendary Pokémons will soon join the war. Bali. I'm afraid so. Issei. In the past, most of them were weakened by the nuclear bombing. If they have already recovered their strength, then the tie of this war will be broken, and we will die. Bali. Believe me, the superiors are rushing, but they can't do much. Issei. It seems that it will soon be time to return to the battlefield. The things tense in the war Zenovia and I had to leave. But before doing so, Zenovia wanted to stay a few more days, to contemplate the sea. I had a bad feeling again, but I decided to please her and ignore it. I made sure to be with her all the time, but still this bad feeling wouldn't go away from my chest. Then on the last day, one of the greatest misfortunes in my life occurred. I knew fear and tasted pain again. Issei. Last day of rest. Zenovia. They were satisfying days but we must return. Issei. I agree with that. Zenovia. Hey Issei, look. The blue stone that Zenovia possessed began to shine brightly. Then everything started to shake, we didn't know what was happening until we saw it. Saying huge was an understatement, we saw a colossal Pokémon that looked like a whale, it had marks on its body. At that time I didn't know that I was facing the legendary and mythical Pokémon, Kyogre. Zenovia. What is that thing? Issei. Pikachu. Zenovia. Wait, Issei, what are you doing? Issei. Get us out of here. I acted quickly and transformed, carrying Zenovia to get out of that place as fast as I could. The Pokémon seemed to be water type, I was guided by that and thought that on land it couldn't reach us. The next thing I saw was that Pokémon coming out of the water and taking flight. Zenovia. But what? Issei. Damn it. Zenovia. Issei, do you think that colossal thing is? Issei. Yes, there is no way it is not a legendary Pokémon. Zenovia. I'm going to transform to help you. Zenovia tried to transform, but it didn't work. Issei. What's up? Zenovia. It doesn't work, I can't transform. Issei. What? At that I noticed that the blue stone in her hand was still shining. Zenovia. This is. Issei. It's probably the stone. Zenovia. Hey. Issei. It must be related to that Pokémon, that would explain why the other Pokémon reacted in a submissive way. Zenovia. I'll get rid of it, wait, I can't, it stuck to my hand. Issei. What? Zenovia tried to let go of the stone, but she couldn't, it had stuck to her hand, and Kyogre was getting closer and closer. I tried to think of how to escape the situation, then up ahead I saw a cave. He could fly, but he couldn't go underground. In the end I managed to get in before he caught us. I kept running, diving deeper underground. I stopped until I thought we were safe. Zenovia. I think we'll be fine. Issei. We don't know where this cave will end, we may have to be prepared to fight. Zenovia. The stone has stopped glowing. Issei. You can take it off your hand. Zenovia. No. Not yet. Issei. It's probably due to the encounter with that Pokémon. Zenovia. What do we do now? Issei. Keep going and see where this path takes us. Zenovia. It's the best. Issei. Let's go. It was about 4 hours and we finally saw the light indicating an exit. Zenovia. Finally. Issei. Zenovia. Zenovia. Wait, Issei. What are you doing? I immediately hugged Zenovia before leaving. I was scared. I thought the same thing would happen to her as Irina. Issei. I don't want to lose you. Zenovia. And you won't. Come on. Zenovia ran like a child towards the exit and I followed her. Issei. Wait for me. Zenovia. Come on, you're slow. The smile on my face felt good and I saw a radiant smile on her face. Luckily everything turned out well. Issei. You will be. Zenovia. Hahaha. Or so I thought, because after Zenovia's laughter, the Pokémon we were supposed to have escaped from appeared in front of us and swallowed Zenovia. I saw one of his arms and one of his legs fell to the ground. I heard him swallow it and then he was gone. He left just like that. I was smiling, my face was petrified. Issei. Yeah. I laughed and as I laughed, I wondered if it was God or fate who was screwing me over like this. I was between madness and sanity. I wanted to cry, but I felt like I was going to vomit. I was tired, I wanted to shoot myself, but my body did not respond. Whose fault was it? Is someone to blame for this, or is it all just due to a chain of events that led to this situation? I wanted to scream and curse, but who was to blame? Who was to blame for what was happening to me? Maybe God or fate, maybe I just have bad luck. I stood there with a smiling face for I don't know how long. I didn't know what to do. Why does the human mind try so hard to find someone to blame? My thoughts were getting crazier and crazier. I was losing myself. In the end Vali found me. I didn't know what face he was making, but I'm sure he was angry when he saw Zenovia's leg and arm. Vali. Sorry I'm late. Issei. Vali. Whose fault is it? Vali. Nobody's. This is a war between us and those creatures. These things will keep happening until the war is over. In the end it is not the fault of those creatures, because we acted with violence first. Human beings do not take the unknown well, but it is not our fault either. It is our nature to react with fear to what we do not know. Issei. Then how should this be resolved? Vali. Both sides want to kill each other. They won't stop until one of them dies. From my point of view neither side has the right to extinguish the other species. Issei. Then should we negotiate? Vali. That is possible only if humans have a military power equal to that of the Pokémon. When the legendary ones come out this war will end. Issei. No. Vali. Hey. Issei. We're not going to let that happen, we're going to end this war. Vali. What are you thinking? Issei. Vali. I'll do it with or without you. Vali. What thing? Issei. I'm going to find a legendary Pokémon and make a contract with it. Vali. Issei, that's it. Issei. With your help or without your help I'll do it. Maybe he was so angry he couldn't think, or maybe he was already crazy. Either way, what else did he have to lose? Yes, I had nothing else that could be taken from me, therefore if I have nothing to lose I can commit suicide without fear of anything. Vali. I'll help you. Issei. Thanks. Vali. But first let's go back to base. Issei. Good. When we returned, the news of Zenovia's death at the hands of a legendary Pokémon was spread throughout the world. Just like Irina's funeral, this one was big, except I wasn't there, nor was Vali. Issei. You have the information. Vali. These are all the places where legendary Pokémons live, but in all these places entire elite squads have failed. Issei. What is the place that has the highest number of fatalities? Vali. This is a place where there is a lot of fog, the Pokémon is gigantic. Issei. They took pictures. Vali. Yes, the habitat of this Pokémon seems to be a large cave, but because of the thick fog approaches it is not easy to find. Every time an elite squad it does not come out alive, and if it does, its body is mutilated. Issei. How far have the squads been able to go? Vali. They never make it to the center. Issei. Yes. Vali. The death rate is 100%. Issei. That's good. Because it means that this Pokémon is very powerful. Vali. I guess there's no turning back now. Then my plan began. I made the respective preparations, and when I reached a place that was covered by the fog I stopped. Issei. Salt of their damn Pokémon. I screamed loudly, my voice echoed in the place, and immediately I had my answer. But what is this, a person dares to come here alone, I don't know if it's very brave or foolish of you. Issei. I came to form a contract with you and I'm not leaving until I do. Then I think you are very stupid, if you don't leave you will probably die. Issei. As you know, we humans are at war with you, even if you win, we will give you the greatest number of life losses possible. True, but that doesn't change anything. We will win. When we who remain in the shadows regain all our power, this war will end. Issei. True. Still. You don't want to make a bet. A bet? Issei. Whoever goes the longest without being found will be another's prey. Interesting, but then I don't have to hide because I will never become your prey. Here the one who has to run and hide is you because you don't have to be the predator. Issei. Do you accept or not? Don't you understand that you have no chance in that bet? Issei. If you think so, then fine, but I've already thrown down the gauntlet. The important thing here is that you accept the bet, or are you afraid? Human, you're going to regret saying that. Okay, I accepted. Issei. Pikachu. 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 I'm going to show you how high the sky is. Issei. Wow, you're big, you'll be a difficult prey. Smiles. Let's begin. Chapter 20. Achievement. The bet between Rayquaza and I had begun. Naturally I was hiding and he was searching for me non-stop. Fortunately, in my transformation with Pikachu, I had an advantage in speed, but nothing more. If he caught me I was sure that with one of his attacks he would kill me. Issei. The true legendaries are incredible, they possess great intelligence, they are able to communicate with humans without needing to make a contract, and with their power they can sweep entire battlefields. At that point Volley's voice came through the communicator I had in my possession. Volley. How's everything going? Issei. For now he's looking for me, but I can't see him clearly with so much fog. Volley. And can he see you? Issei. I don't think so, otherwise he would have attacked me already. Volley. That's good, it means you can extend your fight further. Issei. How are the preparations going? Volley. So far everything is going according to plan, you keep keeping that big guy there. Issei. Let me know when they're finished. I found you. Issei. Damn it. This one shot me as soon as he found me, I reacted in time and jumped dodging the shot. I looked back a few moments and could see the power of that shot, it shattered a giant stone pillar as if it were butter. I ran again, he was bigger than me, on the contrary I was tiny, I could easily hide, also when he destroyed the stone pillar it gave me the opportunity to hide again. I felt like a mouse escaping from a cat, I felt like he was just playing with his food. Volley. Issei, are you okay? Issei. Yes, for now I managed to hide again. Volley. Don't be overconfident. Issei. I know, I thought I had an advantage in speed, but I see that it is a mistake, it is my size that gives me an advantage, I am sure that if he could see me without problems, he would kill me instantly. Volley. You need to go on the offensive. Issei. I have N''T seen a weak point, his entire skin looks like an impregnable armor. Volley. So how about you resort to the weak point that most living beings have? Issei. And that's it. Volley. The eyes. Issei. I think that as soon as I try to aim at him, he will disintegrate me. Volley. Find a way. Issei. I guess I have no other choice. I couldn't see well, I was sure he was looking for me. I needed to find a way to target him, so I had to find out his location. So I went to a high place. Issei. Pokémon weapon electric arc. I would fire a series of shots towards the surroundings to get his attention, with my Pokémon weapon activated I should be able to hit him before he hits me. But I couldn't calculate the direction it would come from either, it was a very risky bet, if it came from the front it could hit me. On the other hand, if it came from behind or from the sides, or even from above, I would be the one who died. I felt like I was playing Russian roulette and I had already started the revolver's magazine, now all that was left was to pull the trigger. There you are. Issei. Here it comes. He had already located me, now this is where my luck was going to be seen. Win or lose, he accepted any result, after all he had come with a willingness to die. I have you. Issei. Me too. I think that for the first time luck smiled on me, I won this game of Russian roulette. As for my opponent, I shot 2 arrows of electric energy towards his eyes before he shot me. Blood flew all over the place, and his scream was not long in coming. AI damn you're human. Issei. It seems that now I have the advantage. I was confident that I had turned the tables in my favor. But I was wrong, because I saw something incredible and unreal. You lucky human, for the first time after a long time I'm going to show you how far my power goes. I never thought of doing it because my energy has not fully recovered, the state is unstable and could leave me weak, but it doesn't matter, I will end this immediately. Then I saw how his body glowed, his eyes regenerated, he ascended to heaven and glowed more brightly. Issei. What is that? In the information we collected about the Pokémon it said the following. Normally legendary Pokémon do not evolve, the state in which they are born is definitive. Naturally there are records that suggest exceptions, but they are very few, they could even be counted on the fingers. However, some legendaries can increase their power by changing form or accessing a unique state. Ollie. Issei, what's going on? I just saw a bright light in the sky. Issei. Volley. This Pokémon is incredible. That day for the first time I saw the mega evolution of a legendary Pokémon, and unlike others. He didn't need a stone to maintain that state. Prepare to die. Ollie. Issei, get out of there quickly. Issei. There's no turning back, Volley, the plan continues. Ollie. How are you going to survive that? Issei. I'll manage. I immediately jumped from where I was, but he appeared in front of me in just a few seconds. Very slow. Issei. His speed has increased. This one was just a push, it wasn't even a punch, and it sent me flying into a stone column, breaking my ribs and arm in the process. You must be sinking into despair right now. Issei. Cough. Cough. Spits blood. The truth is no. Because I would feel despair. How strange, I have seen many humans who begged me for their lives, but in front of the doors of death, you feel no fear or worry. Issei. I have lost everything I loved, I honestly came here with a determination to die. So you know what you're getting into if you make a contract with me. Issei. Yes, eternal life. If you know that because you do it, I doubt that someone who has nothing left would want to continue living, or do you just want to use my power to stop the war and then free me and die? Issei. Of course not, even if I stop the war nothing will prevent another one from happening, if I get the contract with you, I will remain as guardian of this world, atoning for my sins for eternity. You have an admirable determination, in other situations maybe we would be friends, but we are both on different sides. Issei. I know, let's end this. I don't know how much time was left before the preparations were finished, but from now on I had to give it my all. Shock. 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 You are strong, but unfortunately your attacks are not effective. Issei. Your eyes must still be vulnerable. I shot him in the eyes, but he was fast and dodged my attacks, the next thing I knew he had cut off my arm. Now without your arm I doubt you can use that weapon. Issei. Shit. My arm had been cut off, I was hemorrhaging, the blood loss was taking its toll, and my vision was blurry. I cauterized the wound on my cut arm with electricity, it was easy since I concentrated it on one point. It seems that it is over. Issei. Okay. Ollie. Issei. Issei. Yes. Ollie. Preparations are complete. Issei. Smiles. Immediately chains of light came out to Tyraquaza, naturally he was confused. What's going on? Issei. Isn't it obvious? Well, you were busy with me, my brother was preparing the contract. What kind of contract is this? Issei. A forced contract, of course. That's impossible, forced contracts aren't like that. Issei. There is a type of forced contract called a capture circle, in which a circle is drawn on the ground with its respective symbols. This immobilizes the Pokémon and introduces it directly into one's body. But when did you draw the circle? Issei. At no time, well, you were entertaining yourself with me, my brother Volley was in charge of drawing it, although it took a long time since one of the disadvantages of this forced contract is that the size of the circle must be equal to the size of the Pokémon, you will understand why it took so long. Damn, this whole bet of yours was a sham from the start. Issei. Correct. The trap worked, Rayquaza tried to resist, but it was useless, the contract was about to be made and ended successfully. My arm regenerated, my wounds were healed, my brother arrived to check on me. Ollie. It seems that everything went well. Issei. Yes. Ollie. How do you feel? Issei. Full of power. Bastards, you tricked me. Ollie. It seems that he is angry. Issei. It's useless for me to be like this, you should know that now if I die, you die. You will be. Ollie. Besides, by the time you try to take control, you know it will be too late, your kind will have seen you as a traitor, you have no choice but to join us, but don't worry, when we finish this war we will free you. So how will this boy maintain immortality? Issei. That's simple, because before ending this war one will use your power to go after the legendaries. Perhaps. Ollie. If that's what you think, now that Issei has acquired your power, capturing legendary Pokémon will be easier. Issei. Well, my brother helped me catch you, so I think I'll return the favor. Ollie. Thank you. Issei. Do you have any Pokémon in mind? Ollie. I have some, but first let's go back to rest. Issei. Well true, since we will be together for a long time I would like to know what your name is. Rayquaza, my name is Rayquaza. Issei. I'm a big fan of Rayquaza. After that we returned to the base to rest, time passed quickly. Volley was still thinking about our next move, no one knew apart from Volley that I had a legendary Pokémon. At that point we received shocking news, Kiba and Tsubaki had disappeared on a mission. Naturally we investigated but there was no trace of them, in the end we gave them up for dead. Volley. Today's funeral was a bit annoying. Issei. We started out as 7 now it's just you and I left. Rayquaza. The war is already taking its course, it is possible that the legendary Pokémon are getting involved. Issei. You say the Kiba and Tsubaki were possibly killed by legendary Pokémon. Rayquaza. It's the only explanation for why they haven't found his corpse. Issei. It seems we should move. Ollie. I know. Issei. You have in mind the legendary Pokémon you want. Ollie. It is. Issei. What is this? Ollie. According to information from some ruins, this Pokémon seems to have come from the stars. Issei. You say he's an alien? Ollie. Well it comes from the universe of those things. Rayquaza. That bastard. Ollie. It seems that you know him. Rayquaza. You could say, once I dared to cross my sky and we started a fight, unfortunately I escaped. Ollie. How strong is it? Rayquaza. I can assure you that it is very powerful. Ollie. Then it's perfect, you know what the Pokémon is called. Rayquaza. Deoxys. After that Volley and I went to look for him, the battle between the two was intense. The sky and the earth shook, the power of our blows destroyed everything around us. But the limitations of a Pokémon were present, limitations that did not exist for me who had made a contract. I had control from start to finish, by the end Deoxys was under my feet. Issei. I will give you 2 options, you will make a contract with my brother or you will die. Ollie. It seems you only have one way out. Deoxys reluctantly agreed, well he had no other options, from then on both Volley and I went for legendary Pokémons. Ollie. So you were an artificial Pokémon created based on another Pokémon by humans in your world, and then those humans tried to use you as a weapon, well I guess it's normal for you to take part in this war if you don't have a good eye for humans mutuo. Issei. You really thought you were going to defeat me, unfortunately for you there was never such an opportunity Lugia. This is how things went on, when we had enough legendary Pokémon we revealed ourselves to the world and changed the course of the war. We made ourselves heard by both sides, we were finally on the way to negotiations. But it was understandable that negotiations would not be easy, after all both sides had been hurting each other for a long time, yet we believed that we could end this. Ending the war would only be one step, many more things would happen later. But at least we took the first step so that humans and Pokémon can live together again. Chapter 21. Origin. With the powers of the legendary Pokémon the tables of war turned in our favor. Soon the representative of all Pokémon designed to appear. So we started the peace agreements, of course before we had to discuss the proposals with the other people. Ollie. This matter is so important that all the superiors have appeared. Issei. In the end they just stayed hidden. Ollie. I know that bothers you, but you can't act recklessly yet. Issei. I know, by the way it is true that the superiors will send a spokesperson and the people another. Ollie. That's right, the spokesperson for the superiors is called Max, he will speak for them, as for the other one, his name is Anna, she will speak for the people. Issei. We will observe your proposals, through that we will make our decisions. Naturally a meeting took place. The spokesman spoke. Anna. I think we should adopt the culture of the world of these creatures, in the end the world we were in no longer exists, I think that if we understand how the humans of the world of these creatures called Pokémon lived, we can go in a better direction. Max. And how do you plan to do that? Anna. The ruins have given us information about these creatures and the humans who lived with them before they disappeared. It is normal that in them we find the key to living together. In addition, Pokémon are living beings and they can also guide us. Max. What my colleague, who speaks for the people, says, I think it's nonsense. Anna. Sorry. Max. You say we should abandon our homeland, all for creatures that are like animals, that's idiotic. Anna. But. Max. I'm sorry, but we can't forget the name of our country, or the name of the countries that represent the earth. We must rebuild the world government, after all the governments of the world have always guided their respective countries. Anna. You ignore people's feelings. Max. Those creatures will have their place, but locations far from humans will be sought, and the grudge between those creatures and us cannot be forgotten just like that. Anna. But we have lived with them all the time, the creatures themselves lent us their strength to oppose their own. Max. So what, does that exonerate them from the sins of their species? Anna. You'll be an idiot. Max. They are wild beasts, they have no compassion, they are dangerous and must be controlled. Anna. How can you say something so cruel? Max. They're just weapons, don't bother. Anna. You are. Max. Let's see what the people say. The majority voted for the government to be rebuilt, all this live. I was there when a group or majority of people called this land Japan. Although it was more correct to say that it was the birth of Japan too. Anna. This can't be. Max. The people have spoken, our dear observers have not said anything, which means they agree with the people's decision, right? Ollie. This meeting is over. Anna. Please wait. Issei. Do you have anything else to say? Anna. I know we got off on the wrong foot with these creatures, but we have seen their kindness, you who have made contracts should know that. Issei. The meeting is over. Anna. She falls to her knees. The meeting was over and everything was going to get underway shortly. As for Vali and I, well, we paid Anna a private visit. Anna. Saviors, what are you doing here? Issei. Is that what they call us? Ollie. We ended the war you were waiting for. Anna. What are you doing here? I thought a decision had already been made. Issei. We would be crazy if we made Max's decision. Anna. But you. Issei. We sided with the government so that they would lower their guard, in addition to not raising suspicions. Ollie. At the meeting I was able to identify government soldiers among the people. Anna. They were intimidating the people. Ollie. We come to you because only you spoke without malice. Issei. We wanted to ask you if you think you can carry out your plans for coexistence. Anna. I could, but now that you have told me what the government representatives have done, I am not sure, as long as they are there, they will not let my plans come to fruition. Ollie. And if they disappear? Issei. Forever. Anna. Hey. What do you mean? Issei. We are not saints. If all the government representatives, all their bases, men or any trace of the government disappears, do you think you can do it? Anna. I think so, but there are still people who are not from the government and hate Pokémon. Ollie. So if they disappear too, only those of us who want peace will remain. Anna. You're talking about giving me the names of those people so you can kill them. Issei. Yes. Anna. They will stain their hands with so much blood. Issei. I see. Anna. Why will they go so far? Ollie. Because the road to peace is full of blood. Issei. We will kill all opponents, return the world to the Stone Age. Anna. If they do that, we will have nothing. Issei. Exactly, we will start from scratch with the Pokémon. Anna. You guys. Issei. By the time the story is discovered or the truth comes to light about the beginnings of this whole story with the Pokémon, humanity will already be living in peace with them in hundreds, thousands or millions of years in the future. Ollie. As for us, we will do our duty, we will take care of all those who are against coexistence. Issei. We will do whatever it takes. Anna. I don't know what to say. Issei. Guide them well. Because in about 5 days, there will be a sea of blood and a reset in the history of humanity. Ollie. We will all return to the Stone Age. The 5 days passed and as we had mentioned to Anna. The massacre began, we killed them all, I remember it clearly. First there was blood, then screams, the fire started and in the end we were surrounded by corpses. If I felt anything when I killed them, it was either because the war had hardened me or because I had lost what I loved. The truth is that I didn't feel anything, I started to see things in a more rational and logical way. I thought that if I killed them and thereby ensured peace, it didn't matter because it was a necessary sacrifice. Max. Why are they doing this? They didn't agree with the government's decision. Issei. You have to be an idiot to agree with a decision that could lead us back into conflict. Max. Wait, we can talk about it. Issei. In fact, it's easier for me to just kill you than to talk to solve all the problems. Max. Wait. Issei. Die. It was certainly a cold point of view, but it worked. If just by killing a small number of people you ensured peace for hundreds, thousands, millions or even forever. Perhaps it would not be worth it, honestly compared to the number of lives that war takes, the price to pay was very small. Many would consider this way of thinking inhumane, but in reality I am thinking of others, you sacrifice a few, so that many more may live. It is a realistic point of view. Ollie. Survivors. Issei. 0. Ollie. Let's go, we have to continue. Issei. Yes. After we finished the killing and the governments were destroyed, we began negotiations. We adopted the culture of your world, officially the name of each country in our world disappeared, and we adopted the name of the regions instead. Of course the Pokémon helped the humans with the geographical location and knowing the name of each region, also that now the regions were larger because the size of the earth had increased. Well, that part was no longer our concern, we only had to preserve peace. Anna and her men warned us about humans with grudges against Pokémon, so we killed them. It was the quickest and easiest solution, in the end only the humans who agreed with peace remained. Then time passed. Ollie. We can already see the progress of humanity alongside the Pokémon. Issei. The embers of war are still not extinguished. Ollie. I know, we might have to kill Pokémon, after all some Pokémon have grudges against humans. Issei. Ha. Possibly humans and Pokémon are not so different. Ollie. Maybe. Issei. But if we do that, we'll have to talk to him first. Then one day, the representative of the Pokémon, their god so to speak, saw that the world was moving in the right direction. But I still noticed the resentment that some Pokémon had towards humans. On the other hand, the humans who had any hatred towards the Pokémon no longer existed, well it was obviously valid, and I had killed them all. Although his god did not want to go to the extremes that we did, he knew that he might not have a choice. But then he decided to look for another point of view, he would divide the planet into two planes, something like another dimension. He would divide the human and Pokémon plane, creating in the same world, a world where only Pokémon live. That way I would give the opportunity to the Pokémon who held a grudge against humans, to live peacefully. Of course Pokémon could come to our world, but now they had more choices. Ultimately, if the Pokémon did not forget their grudge, we would be their executioners. That was the task that was given to us for a long time. Ollie. Now that the Pokémon plane is formed, it will reduce the problems. Issei. You think? Ollie. Let's hope so. Time went on, my brother and I went our separate ways, both of us learning more about our powers and what we could do. Then my brother found me, at that time the events of my story with Yasaka were taking place. Ollie. I know it's been a long time, but the Pokémon who haven't forgotten their grudge have crossed the human plane and are causing a stir. Issei. Damn. Ollie. Even though a lot of time has passed, the embers of the flames of war have not yet been extinguished. Issei. How's Anna? Ollie. He keeps giving me information, but he never locates you. Issei. I know how many years of life does he have left? Ollie. 10,000. Issei. It's a long time although for us it's nothing compared to eternity. Ollie. That's true. So we played our role as executioners until the end, when everything was over and there was only peace, we spoke to Anna in her last years of life. Anna. Humanity is beginning to move forward again towards the technological era. Issei. Although there is still a long way to go before that. Anna. Yes. Issei. Anna, thanks to you, humanity is on the right path. Anna. No, you were the ones who made the difficult decisions. Ollie. You did your part, we did ours. Anna. Humanity will look back and wonder what happened. Ollie. Then summarize the story, summarize it in simple words, so that no one ever doubts the truth. Anna. But no one will know about you. Ollie. Yes. But it has to be done. Issei. Anna. We must be forgotten by the world. Anna. Thank you. In the end. It was you who made this world possible. You don't deserve this ending. Issei. Sometimes we don't have what we want, but what we should have. Ollie. Thank you for your help all these years. Anna. And thank you all for allowing this world. After that Anna got down to work, the story before our coexistence with the Pokémon was summarized too. A long time ago two universes collided that caused a fusion between those two universes, in turn, that caused the human world and Pokémon to exist in harmony together. That's right, creatures called Pokémon appeared, however for peace and security, they divided the human and Pokémon plane creating in the same world, a world where only Pokémon live, although Pokémon visit the human world sometimes. Some entered in physical form, others preferred to enter in spiritual form, so as not to be easily seen and not attract attention. When this happened, the Pokémon chose humans to fuse with, giving them long, even eternal, lives, as well as powers capable of changing the course of the world. In this way the bloody parts, the sacrifices, the deaths, the war, everything was omitted or forgotten. And so we come to the world where we are now, a world where humans and Pokémon can coexist in peace. Rayquaza. That's basically all that happened. Issei. Yes, although in the end you did not leave my side and formalize the contract. Rayquaza. What can I say, I like you. Issei. I take the compliment, so what did you think of the story? Rias, Ravel, Okeno and Yusaka stood with their mouths open, not knowing what to say. Why? I think their brains exploded from such a revelation. Issei. Understandable, well they process everything, I'll go get something to eat. Chapter 22. Twilight. The girls were speechless at the story they heard, they didn't even know what to say. Then the silence was broken by laughter. Rias. It's incredible. Issei. Well, I guess those words are the right ones to describe the story I told you. Ravel. But then if you killed all those who oppose coexistence, you had to go to several regions, if not all. Issei. Well, technically the world at that time had not assumed the name of the regions yet, therefore I cannot say that I was in all the regions. Isaka. So when it is mentioned that Groudon created the continents millions of years ago, they are actually referring to the creation of their world before our universes merged. Issei. Right, after all there are Pokémons capable of reforming the earth. Isaka. Well, that is something undeniable. Rias. Anna did well, she managed to get us humans to adopt the Pokémon culture. Issei. As you can see, it was a success, now their legends are our legends. Akeno. But doesn't humanity doubt that? Issei. Naturally, there are those who already know the truth, but there is no longer hatred between Pokémon and humans, therefore knowing the truth does not cause problems, after all it is a story of the past. Isaka. It must be soothing. Issei. Not really. After all, even if there are peace-loving humans, there will always be those who are greedy and see Pokémon as weapons. Rias. Unfortunately, it is human nature, no matter how many you kill, children will always be born who in the future, either through error or abuse, will become bad. Issei. Either way, I'm glad the world that was born after all those events. Rias. Hey Issei. Issei. Yes. Rias. Do you miss Arena and Zenovia? Issei. Yes, but I can't change the past, in fact I considered traveling back in time, but it carries many risks. Rias. I guess it's true. Isaka. By the way, you met Kyogre later, when you went to fulfill your role as mediator. Issei. Yes, unfortunately when I saw him I ruled out any possibility that Zenovia was alive, at the same time it was difficult to attack him without wanting to kill him. Rias. If I could make a wish, I would wish for those two to be here. Isaka. Oh, that's interesting, why? Rias. Both of them tried hard to protect and love Issei, such good people and with such determination, they didn't deserve to die like that. Isaka. That's true. Issei. You too, thank you. Isaka. No. Thanks to you. If after living through those tragedies you decided to open your heart to me in the past I really appreciate it, I wish we had made better decisions. Issei. I know, but I can't wish to undo those decisions either because it means I wouldn't be with you and Rias in the present. Isaka. Blushes gosh. Rias. Blushes Issei you are so. Akeno. By the way Issei, in your past story I'm curious about something, although it's a very personal question and I don't know if I should ask it. Issei. No problem, do it calmly. Akeno. Well, in one part of your story, after both of them declared their love for you and you spent time with your friends, you went to the forest with just the two of them, right? Issei. Yes, why? Akeno. You did it with both of them in the forest. Issei. Well, that's it. Ravel. Hey Akeno, what is that question? Akeno. What, I'm just curious, even if Issei hasn't answered me, please solve my doubt. Rias. You taught him. Isaka. No, she's like that. Rias. Who would have thought? Issei. Well, I think we should all go to sleep. Rias. I agree. At that point everyone would go to bed, except Ravel and Akeno who wanted to stay a little further out. Akeno. Did you notice that Rias and Yasaka went to sleep next to Issei? Ravel. I think those two go everywhere except to sleep. Akeno. Well, what did you think of Issei's story? Ravel. To tell the truth, I'm surprised. Akeno. I know, even that story is before we even existed and we come from the past. Ravel. As Issei said, he and his brother returned everything to the Stone Age. Akeno. Had to endure a lot. Ravel. Yes, anyone else would have already thrown in the towel. Akeno. What do you think, Issei? Ravel. Like a person. Akeno. Ace a man. Ravel. Blushes what questions are you asking, Akeno? Akeno. I'm starting to like it. Ravel. Hey, it's a joke. Akeno. It's not a joke. Ravel looked in surprise at the serious expression on Akeno's face. Ravel. It's true, you're not joking. Akeno. The more I know Issei, the more he attracts me, he doesn't have the look that the men of our time had. Ravel. I know, our position attracted greed, many saw us as a means to pleasure, riches etc. Akeno. When he looks at me, he only sees Akeno, that's what I can tell from his gaze, even if it were lustful, he doesn't just care about pleasure, but he reciprocates love. Ravel. You want to form a relationship with him. Akeno. Yes, that's why I will try to win her heart. Ravel. You will be heavens. Akeno. By the way, you should be more honest. Ravel. What do you mean? Akeno. That my heart was not the only one that Issei conquered. But those words Akeno went to sleep while Ravel stayed outside looking at the stars. At that her cheeks turned red and she touched her chest while a smile was seen on her lips. One day later. Issei would wake up in his tent, but he was not alone. On the sides were Yusaka and Rias without clothes, plus a third person. Issei. It seems that it was a very hectic night. Ravel. Issei, you are awake. Issei. Yes. Ravel. You can come help me. Issei. I think I can't stop. Ravel. Rias and Yusaka fell asleep on top of you. Issei. No, it was Akeno. Ravel. I understand, then I will help you. Wait, what? At that Ravel entered the tent and saw that everyone was naked, but he paid more attention to Akeno, who did not understand how she had gotten there. Ravel. Akeno, what are you doing there? Akeno. I want to sleep a little more. Ravel. Hey Akeno, wake up. Akeno. It's you, Ravel. Ravel. Yeah, what the hell are you doing in Issei's tent naked? Akeno. Well, it's not obvious, I had hex with him. Ravel. What? Akeno. I didn't tell you I would try to win her heart. I thought the fastest way was through Ella's body, then we could get to the sentimental. Ravel. What are you saying? Yusaka. I was also surprised by Akeno's attitude of him last night. Rias. Honestly, she has nothing to do with being a priestess. Ravel. And you left it just like that. Rias. Well, I think we are not the ones to say something. Yusaka. It's true. Akeno. I also think you should be more honest. Ravel, you also want to make it true. Ravel. What are you saying? Akeno. Issei, could you help her become a woman? Issei. Are you serious? I don't think Ravel would agree. At that point Akeno would grab Ravel and begin to undress her. Ravel. Hey Akeno, what are you doing? Akeno. She is very reserved with her feelings, I'm sure you agree. Yusaka. I guess we could do it one more time. Rias. I still feel energetic. Ravel. Haha. Hey. You guys are serious. Akeno. Calm down, it hurts at first, but then it feels good. Smiles. Ravel. Akeno, idiot. 8 hours later. After a few things we set off for Hone. Akeno. Come on, you can stop being angry already. Ravel. Do you think I should not get angry, you fool? Akeno. Well, your face of pleasure at that moment showed no sign of regret. Ravel. You will be. Rias. Akeno turned out to be more direct than I thought. Yusaka. I guess all those years being a priestess has contained her true nature. Rias. Yes, now that he is no longer, he shows his true face. Yusaka. Well, Issei's charm is natural. Issei. Could you please not bring me into the discussion? Yusaka. You didn't complain when you were doing it with us hours before. Issei. In my defense, no boy would complain about that. Rias. You must invent a better defense. Rayquaza. It seems that love is smiling upon you. Luja. Although too much love can be counterproductive. Issei. You guys don't talk. In the distance you can see a small town. Yusaka. That place is. Issei. Yes. Root Village. Rias. We are officially in Hone. Akeno. Things seem to be getting interesting. Ravel. This will be fun. 5 days later. We stayed a short time in Villarada, things were quiet and relaxing. Ravel. The atmosphere here is very relaxing. Issei. Remember, our goal in coming to Hone is to have fun, so think quickly about where we can go. Yusaka. Surely there must be fun events at this time of year. Ravel. That's true. Rias. How about we go to the port city? Issei. Did you see something interesting in the newspaper? Rias. More than interesting, the most famous singer in Unova has come to Hone. Issei. Who? Rias. True. You spent more time on video games than on the news. Yusaka. I heard of that singer, she is not only the most famous singer in Unova, but in the world, no one surpasses her in singing. I heard that her voice can capture the hearts of Pokémon, but she was silent for several months. Rias. According to this article, she was looking for inspiration for a long time, after finding it she wants her next concert to be here in Hone. Issei. Port City is located in the southwest of the Hone region, it is the main port of the region, and the most populated city. If that news is true, the tickets will begin to be sold soon. Rias. That's why if we arrive before the event starts we won't have to worry. Issei. I don't know. Yusaka. I think it's interesting, and it's not a boring place, there's the ocean museum, the market, tropical beaches and the ferry port. Issei. We will certainly entertain ourselves quite a bit before the concert. Ravel. Hey, look what the newspaper says here. Issei. What do you say? Ravel. The Millennial Comet will be present at the concert. Rias. What is the Millennial Comet? Issei. It is a comet that passes through the Earth, it can be seen for 7 days every 1,000 years. Rias. In other words, it is a unique event. Issei. Yes, although whoever has immortality will see it many times. Isaka. I think it's decided. Issei. That's right. Rias. Okay, let's go, we're going to the port city. Elsewhere. The place was dark, but it quickly lit up. It was seen that it was surrounded by high technology. Then two men walked in front of a large screen. Magno. The data doesn't lie, Achilles. Achilles. Soon it will be the great hour. Peter. I see things are going well for you. Magno. What are you doing here, Ether? Peter. Calm down, I'm just making sure that the Aqua and Magna branches are okay. After all, their teams are important for the cow's rocket. Achilles. I bet it's something else, isn't it? Ether. Smiles. Magno. Why don't we save ourselves the useless chatter and tell us your goal? Peter. I came here to give you a little help. Magno. Regarding what? Ether. To this. Immediately the floor opens and a huge capsule appears, in which it is seen that it contained a strange shiny stone. Achilles. What are you trying to do? Peter. It wouldn't be beneficial for you if he woke up earlier to educate him properly. Magno. It would be great, but he can't wake up yet. Peter. Unless an innocent person with a beautiful voice sings to you. Magno. Perhaps you. Peter. Do you want my help or not? Achilles. What are you saying? Magno. It is certainly beneficial, there is no reason to reject it. Ether. Okay, come in. Then a girl would enter the place. Achilles. She is she. Peter. One of our team members in Unova, as our goals in Unova are secured, he no longer has a job, so I thought of giving him a new one. Don't tell me that someone who is the best singer in the world doesn't have a beautiful voice. Achilles. Still no guarantee that it will work. Magno. That's true. Ether. By the way. Magno. Yes. Peter approached the two and said a few words in their ear. Ether. She has a. Achilles. Magno. Shocked. Impossible. Peter. I can leave it in your hands. Magno. Of course, we will take advantage of your ability. Achilles. But nothing is free, there is something you want. Peter. If your plan works, fulfill a wish for me. Magno. Which one? Peter. I will send them in writing, anyway good luck, behave myself Ingvald Leviathan. Ingvald. Yes, sir. Chapter 23. Training. Shock. Burst. Shock. Issei. Keep it up. Akeno. Take this. Akeno would throw a lightning bolt at Ravel, but she would easily dodge it. Ravel. Nice try. Isaka. The two are couples. Rias. I'm afraid it's hard to know who will win. Issei. Because they both carry two legendary Pokémon, which are also two of the legendary birds, it is difficult for me to say who could win, but the balance leans more towards Akeno. Rias. According to Zapdos, Moltres is weak to rock, water and electric, he clearly has the advantage. Issei. Zapdos for his part is weak to ice and rock. Isaka. Do you think Akeno will win? Issei. No, he will lose. Shock. Burst. Ravel. Your rays are a problem. Moltres. Watch out. Akeno. There's nowhere to escape, Ravel. Akeno was right in front of her ready to launch her attack, but at that Ravel smiled. Ravel. Thanks for coming power past. At that moment Ravel's fist hit Akeno's face, knocking her to the ground, in turn creating a crater. Rias. Wait, past power is a rock-type movement, like her. Issei. Don't forget that Pokémon can use some movements that don't correspond to their type. Isaka. Still, I shouldn't have knocked Akeno out instantly. Issei. In this case, several factors come together. The first is that Ravel was always on the defensive, dodging Akeno's attacks from her, so she was saving energy. The second is that Akeno was constantly attacking without stopping, wasting energy and stamina. Rias. And the third one? Issei. That past power in addition to causing damage and has a 10% chance of increasing the attack, defense, special attack, special defense and speed of the user, therefore Ravel had an increase in power. Isaka. Seeing it like that, it's normal that Akeno lost instantly. Issei. Well, let's go see her. Immediately everyone gathered around Akeno to see her condition, but she was apparently fine. Akeno. Ravel, you were very abrupt when you hit me in the face. Ravel. Consider it revenge. Akeno. Damn. Issei. Well, now I'm going to point out their flaws. Akeno, you are bold and confident, but if you overestimate yourself for having a legendary Pokémon and don't think properly about how to use the potential you have, naturally you will always fall defeated. Akeno. I understand. Issei. On the other hand, Ravel, you think correctly and look for the right moment to attack, but sometimes there will be enemies who will not show that moment and you will have to be more risky, therefore have more confidence in yourself. Ravel. Yes. Issei. I hope you understand that we took this day to train and for you two to learn to know each other better. Now that you have legendary Pokémons in your body, you are no longer the same. Rias. Is it really necessary to do this before going to the port city? Issei. I'm afraid so. We're going to a very populated place. I want to prevent Akeno and Ravel from getting out of control. Why? Issei is right, you can't imagine the problem it would be if for some reason Akeno and Ravel got so angry that they lost control and ended up destroying everything. Rias. True. Issei. Also, this training will serve them well to strengthen themselves. Rias. I see. Issei. Well, now it's your turn to laugh. Rias. Sure, wait for me because. Issei. Because you need to gain more experience, so Yusaka will help you. Yusaka. I hope we can learn from each other. Rias. Are you sure Issei Yusaka's Pokémon is pseudo-legendary, while mine are complete legendary, won't she be at a disadvantage? Issei. I don't think so, in fact Yusaka is stronger than you currently. Rias. What? Issei. She has many years of experience, the reason she surpassed you is because of her long age, after all she became an immortal before you, she had more than enough time to get to know herself and her Pokémon. Rias. I understand, then I am in your care Yusaka. Issei. It's a good thing I chose this area, there are only kilometers full of trees and no civilians. At that Yusaka and Rias distanced themselves from each other. Yusaka. Here we go Dragonite. Rias. Yveltal, let's show what we can do. Issei. Ravel and Akeno, watch this fight carefully, you can learn a lot. Ravel. Yes. Akeno. Okay. Shock. Immediately the collision of both created a great explosion of energy that twisted the trees around them. Akeno. What power? Ravel. I understand that Rias can manifest this strength, but how does Yusaka do it? Issei. Know yourself, that is what you should always keep in mind. Yusaka knows herself perfectly, she knows the limits of her strength and capabilities, she knows how to increase her strength to temporarily surpass those limits, and she knows how to move her body in a welcoming way so that the fight is easier for her. Shock. Yusaka. Thunder Fist. Rias. Dragon Claw. The clash of their fists generated a shower of lightning and split the ground where they were standing. Ravel. It's incredible. Issei. This would be called an even fight. Akeno. Did you even fight? Issei. Normally many things decide the fight between trainers, the most common is the type of Pokémon, sometimes you will meet fighters or trainers who are not weak against your type, nor you against theirs, that is called an even fight. Akeno. But Pokémon can use movements that are not of their type. Issei. Correct, but those movements do not cover all types of Pokémon, you could have water, fire, ice and dragon type movements, but not have fairy, rock and dark. Akeno. I understand. Issei. In this case, both have 2 or 3 movements to which they are weak, Yusaka has electric type movements and Rias, dragon and rock, which keeps the fight even. Ravel. However, Yusaka has experience on his side of him, right? Issei. True, naturally I don't think Rias will win, but she will be able to improve, which is also beneficial. Akeno. Another thing, both have used movements and melee attacks, but neither have you used their Pokémon weapon. Issei. Until now Rias has not summoned her Pokémon weapon in any of her transformations, on the other hand Yusaka can do it. Ravel. If Yusaka summons her weapon, the battle will lean towards her. Shock. Yusaka. Smiles, now let's start fighting for real Pokémon weapon dual dragon swords. Immediately after Yusaka launched a strong blow at Rias, she tried to stop her with her hands now turned into claws. But it was useless, the claws were destroyed. Rias. Aya. Ravel. She just summoned her weapon and it was enough to have an overwhelming advantage. Issei. He was careless. Akeno. Do you think Rias has a chance to take advantage? Issei. Only summoned on Pokémon weapon. Ravel. At the moment I don't think it's possible. Rias pulled herself together, saw Yusaka approaching and immediately stretched out her hand. Yusaka. It will take you a while to regenerate those claws, my dear. I don't think it's a good idea to use that bare hand as a defense against my weapons. Rias. Who said I put it as a defense? Life energy theft. At that moment a ray of energy shot out from Rias' hand. Yusaka reacted instantly and covered herself, receiving the attack with her weapons crossed. Yusaka. Interesting. Ravel. But what kind of movement is that? Issei. It's not a movement, it's the unique power of the Yveltal Pokémon, theft of vital energy, it's more of a power exclusive to it than a movement. Akeno. But trying to steal the life energy of someone who has immortal life is not inefficient. Issei. Normally yes, but everything has a limit. If the speed of vital absorption is faster than the speed of vital regeneration, naturally even an immortal would turn to stone. Akeno. So immortals aren't totally immune to Yveltal. Issei. Correct, in fact the immune Pokémon are few, although its counterpart is surely immune. In that Yusaka saw how her weapon slowly turned to stone, on the other hand the claws on Ria's hands regenerated. Yusaka. This could be dangerous. Yusaka immediately moved away from the energy beam, her weapons would slowly regain their shine. Why? Good thinking, but you won't achieve anything while she has her weapons. Rias. I know, Issei already told me how to do it, but it's not easy with Yusaka pressing me. Why? Then you need to gain time. Rias. I know, we will use the Devil's Claw. Why? We haven't used that move since the encounter with Matt. Rias. We will recreate it again. Red energy enveloped Ria's hand, Yusaka became serious because she felt the pressure she was exerting, on the other hand Akeno and Ravel were worried about the movement Rias was making. Issei opened his eyes wide, then he knew it was dangerous. Yusaka. What is that? It doesn't matter. I'll counter his attack with Thunder Fist. At that moment Yusaka ran towards Rias and is the same. Rias. Devil's Claw. Yusaka. Devil's Claw, what kind of movement is that? It doesn't matter, I just have to use Thunder Fist to counter it. But at that Issei's voice was heard. Issei. Yusaka, don't take that head on. Yusaka. Hey. Yusaka hearing that she used her Pokémon weapons to intercept the Devil's Claw blow. Immediately the shock wave sent the two flying, Yusaka released her weapons in the process. Rias. That hurt. Hey Issei, what was that? Why did you tell him what to do? Issei. Idiot, look at Yusaka's weapons. Rias. Hey. Yusaka's weapons were reduced to stone and then turned to dust. Issei. It could have been dangerous for her if she had received it head-on. Rias. I see, damn, I didn't think it was so dangerous. Why? Honestly, I was surprised too. Yusaka. That was close. Rias. Yusaka's weapons are destroyed, now I have time to summon my Pokémon weapon. Ravel. Why doesn't Yusaka summon her Pokémon weapon again? Issei. If a Pokémon weapon is destroyed, there is a 10-minute interval for it to recover, a smart move on Ria's part. Akeno. I see. Ravel. But why doesn't he attack without weapons? Issei. After that attack Yusaka knows what would happen if he gets closer, it's better to play it safely. Akeno. And you laugh, why doesn't he attack? Issei. He must be trying to summon his Pokémon weapon for the first time, Rias is not used to working under so much pressure, therefore she gained time to summon her weapon. Ravel. A clever move. The 10 minutes would fly by, Yusaka summoned her Pokémon weapon again, on the other hand a red ray of light appeared coming out of Ria's body. Rias. Pokémon weapon Sword of Finn. Seeing the sword everyone was amazed, and that Issei realized something. The weapon seemed to absorb all the vital energy of nature. Yusaka. You need to improve to be able to summon your weapon without having to wait for time. Rias. I know. Yusaka. Okay, now let's try it. The two ran ready to clash their weapons, but in that Issei stood in the middle and stopped both of their weapons. Issei. I thought this was enough. Yusaka. Hey. Rias. Hey, are you really going to stop us at the most exciting part? Yusaka. I agree with Rias, I was having fun. Issei. I can't help it, it's for the safety of both, and seeing the effects of that weapon I can say that it is very dangerous. Yusaka. Sighs, well I guess we'll leave it here. Rias. It seems so. Issei. Rias, come with me. Rias. Why? Issei. Only Fry. Rias. Well. Rias would follow Issei calmly, he made sure to be far enough away from the others so that they would not hear their conversation. Issei. It seems that everything is fine here. Rias. Is something wrong? Issei. That movement called Devil's Claw, where did you learn it? Rias. It was in my battle against Matt, I came up with the idea of mixing the Shadow Claw with my ability that steals vital energy. Issei. You mixed a movement with the unique power of Yveltal. Rias. Yes, after that attack I knew that Matt was slowly dying, I thought Yusaka would be fine being immortal. Issei. I see. Then let me tell you that you are wrong. Rias. What? Issei. You could have killed Yusaka. Rias. But how that guy Matt? Issei. That guy Matt had the Mega Evolution, your attack seems to immediately absorb all the vital energy, I assume that Matt was able to save himself the first time, because he had the Mega Evolution which is a temporary transformation, but still he don't escape the consequences. Rias. Then I have an attack that could instantly kill anyone. Issei. Not just anyone, you could kill Pokémon carriers, pseudo-legendary or semi-legendary and below, as for higher level Pokémon carriers, I think you couldn't kill them instantly, but you would do significant damage to them, and it would be difficult for them to recover instantly. Rias. I'll be more careful. Issei. That's fine, now let's go back to eat something. Rias. Yes. Chapter 24. Intriguing ending. After training we immediately left for the port city. By the time we arrived the city was packed with foreigners. Issei. It seems that the concert attracted people from many regions. Rias. I guess it's to be expected considering the fame of the singer. Issei. I'll go get the tickets. Isaka. Wait. They noticed that. Rias. Yes, there are people nearby with a strong aura. Issei. I guess it's normal to have this kind of security. Be careful and don't get into trouble. I'll go see if the tickets are on sale. Isaka. Okay. Issei would calmly go look for the tickets. Bakeno. What do we do in the meantime? Rias. Well, we could see the market or the museum, even go to the beach. Ravel. The beach sounds great. Isaka. But we don't have swimsuits. Rias. There must be shops here, let's buy some. But Issei. This was at the stand where they sold the tickets. Issei. Ready to buy them all. Rayquaza. By the way Issei, can I ask you please? Issei. You say. Rayquaza. According to the geographical location of the place, the caves where Groudon and Kyogre live are nearby. I want you to pay them a visit. Issei. Do you have something to talk to them? Rayquaza. Just chatting. Issei. I guess I can do it. It doesn't please me. But I can. Rayquaza. I appreciate it. Lugia. It will be very uncomfortable to talk to Kyogre having Issei nearby. Rayquaza. I'll get out of his body if Issei gets upset. Issei. But before I go, I think I'll relax a little. He would arrive at the beach calmly and change in one of the bathrooms. Lugia. The sea is beautiful as always. Issei. If you want I can let you out, but you have to make sure you go really deep. Lugia. Okay. Rayquaza. Won't you let me out? Issei. You're crazy, the sky is clear. Rayquaza. What if I get close to the atmosphere? Issei. Okay, but don't make a scene. Rayquaza. Sure. Issei quickly dove into the water and released Lugia. Immediately Lugia descended to the bottom of the sea. Then he came out of the water and went to a remote area, releasing Rayquaza which ascended into the atmosphere. Issei. Remember that you can't be outside for more than 6 hours, otherwise you would be drawn to me. Rayquaza. Okay. Rias. What are you doing, Issei? Issei. He. Laughs. Ravel. Why did Rayquaza leave? Issei. Calm down, I just let him go so he could enjoy the fun. Rias. Will it be okay? Issei. Yes, you just have to come back before 6 hours. Bakeno. Something bad happens when they stay out for more than 6 hours. Issei. Yes, they are attracted like meteorites to the Earth's orbit, they would literally be dragged towards me. Why? If you laugh, I can go out too. Rias. I'm not sure it's a good idea. Then please. Rias. Ha. Good. Issei. There's a forest around here, you can let it go, I don't think there will be any problems. Rias. Well, by the way, how's it done? Issei. Just loosen up your body. Rias. I understand. Issei. Also release Ho-Oh. Rias. Why? Issei. I'm not leaving Yveltal alone. Rias. Well thought out. Isaka. Then I'll let Dragonite roam free. Zapdos. Akeno, let me go too. Walters. Also Ravel. They would all let their Pokémon go free without any problem. Rias. Remember to come back within 6 hours. Issei. By the way, were you looking for me for something? Isaka. Yes, to go to the beach, but looking at your clothes it seems like you got there before us. Rias. Okay, let's have fun. The fresh sea breeze, combined with the beautiful sound of the waves, made for a wonderful day. Rias. The breeze feels good. Bakeno. Ara ara, how comforting. Rias. You look good Ravel. Ravel. Thanks, by the way Isaka, why do you have that form? Isaka. Comfort, at some point in the past I started using the Ninetales transformation to practice and improve energy consumption, over time I found it comfortable to use this form in my daily life. Ravel. I see. Rias. By the way, Issei, I notice you're uncomfortable. Issei. The looks from the boys on the beach make me nervous. Bakeno. Just ignore them, let's have fun. At that point the girls started playing volleyball. Rias. Take this. Bakeno. You don't even dream it. Isaka. I'll give it back to you. Ravel. I won't let it fall. Issei. It seems like the girls are having fun. Issei was sitting on a beach chair while drinking from a coconut. Elsewhere. Achilles. Let's start soon, where is the girl? Magno. Is preparing. Achilles. Do you think this is possible? Magno. You have to see it. Achilles. Do you think Ether is trustworthy? Magno. He has some seniority in the organization, in addition to having preferential treatment from the leader of the organization, but I don't trust him much either. Achilles. His words are like fog, hard to see their meaning. Magno. We will just keep our end of the deal if your plan works. But Issei. The hours had passed and the Pokémon returned. Why? That outing felt good to me. Ho-oh. It was relaxing, the surroundings of Hone are beautiful. Rayquaza. The planet's atmosphere is currently in order. Lugia. The sea is still calm and welcoming as ever. Moltres. There were many Pokémon around. Zapdos. They got scared when they saw me. Moltres. You honestly can't blame them. Issei. Looks like they had fun. Rias. I'm glad to see they didn't cause any problems. Bekeno. Tomorrow there will be a Pokémon battle event, I think it will be fun to participate. Issei. It might be interesting and will help most of you gain experience. Ravel. Some advice. Issei. Some people don't play fair, controlling your emotions will be vital, and no matter what happens don't let anger consume you, you could unleash the power of your legendary Pokémons. Ravel. I understand. Issei. Yusaka, I'm counting on you to watch over their fights. Yusaka. You're not coming. Issei. I have things to do, or rather I have to go with Rayquaza to a place. Rias. Where to? Issei. A place of no importance. Ravel. What happens if Yusaka can't watch our fights because she's on her own? Issei. God free us. Ravel. That's not very encouraging. And? Let's hope everything goes well. Ho-oh. I have a bad feeling. The next day everyone went to their respective places. Naturally the girls began their fights. Rias. Let's go Charmander. She had barely transformed when she tripped and fell to the ground. Rias. Damn, that was embarrassing. Aida. And you are my opponent. Rias. Something's wrong, why is it? Aida. Honestly, I don't have to worry. Rias. Don't be overconfident. Aida. I'm going to freeze that mouth of yours, let's see if that way you'll shut up, Glaziola. Rias. Let's get started. The battle between the two began, fire and ice came into contact. While in the other rooms, different fights were taking place. The Yusaka one was about to begin. Jessica. Corellia, let's show this lady what we can do. Yusaka. Madam. I think this young lady should learn to respect her elders. The sparks could be seen before the fight even began. On the other hand, Akeno was already in hers. Lux. You're a pretty girl, wouldn't you be interested in getting into the modeling business? Akeno. I'm sorry, but my life is much more interesting than that job. Lux. What a pity, Luxray, we will not hold back. Akeno. Pikachu, let's show him what a real lightning bolt is like. As for Ravel, she was about to start. Emilia. Are you a fun girl? Ravel. What is the point of the question? Emilia. Because you seem like a very serious and boring girl. Ravel. You will be. Emilia. Let's go Vaporeon. Ravel. I'm definitely going to crush her, go Arcanine. The fights had begun, immediately the cries of the crowd resonated in each fight. But Issei. He was going down into the depths of the sea, then he visualized a cave which he entered and slowly began to walk. Rayquaza. We're coming. Issei. Let's go. Lugia. I still think you still need to be more honest with girls. Issei. Sometimes you don't want your partner to know your secret side because many times that secret side is very dark. Lugia. Sooner or later they will have to know. Issei. Rayquaza, seriously, we have to do this. I don't know what, you have to talk to them. Rayquaza. I have things to say out of respect, after all I hadn't had the chance to say the things I wanted back then because you left. Issei. And what did you want me to do to stay? Rayquaza. Likewise, to make things easy we start with Kyogre, after all if we finish here first we can go to Groudon's cave, then the pressure will be less. Issei. But that talk is necessary, really? Rayquaza. Yes, since it is a sign of respect. Lugia. I know it bothers you, Issei. But if you can't be closed, you can leave Rayquaza alone. Issei. No, it's okay, after all I'm involved in this. At that a colossal Pokémon was visualized, it was Kyogre. Lugia. But I still insist that you shouldn't have lied to the girls. Issei. And I keep insisting that it is not necessary. Lugia. Sooner or later the truth will be known, it will be known that you killed Kyogre and Groudon in the past. Half of Kyogre's body was destroyed and its organs were showing. Rayquaza. Hello Kyogre, we can finally chat. I can finally present my respects and regrets for what happened in the past. Lugia. Who would have thought that it hasn't been revived yet? Rayquaza. You never know when a legendary Pokémon will come back to life. Lugia. Do you remember that day, Issei? Issei. Yes, anger blinded me, I had Zenovia's killer in front of my eyes, and then I couldn't stop hitting ground and got in, the two became allies, I couldn't take it anymore in the end because of my rage, I killed them both. Rayquaza. I don't blame you, I should have made you see a reason, but what right did I have, after all, he took away someone you loved. Issei. For now everything remains normal, but when something affects the Earth or the Hydrosphere, those in charge of preserving it will not be there. Rayquaza. Let's hope they come back someday. Issei. For now I will take care of protecting nature in his absence, anyway Rayquaza, say what you have to say. Elsewhere. Achilles, Magnus and Ingvald were in front of the strange shiny stone. Achilles. Are you ready? Magno. Are you sure you don't need to transform? Ingvald. I don't think so. Ingvald immediately began to sing. Ah! O lost star. The time has come to wake up. You must demonstrate your majesty. We all wait for this day. It's because of you that we are here. Dreams and hopes harbored. Well, my faith in you is great. O star, answer me. You can fulfill my wishes. To save this world. Well, I wish for peace. To never cry. The glowing stone began to crack, then a figure was seen. Achilles. It worked. Magno. It's now. But Issei. He looked around and noticed something strange. Luja. Is something wrong, Issei? Issei. Yes. I think someone was here. Luja. What? Issei. Look at a torn blue screen. Luja. Who could have found this place? Issei. I don't know, but in front you can see blurry footprints, whoever they are was there a long time ago, from the footprints I would say there were about 10 people, maybe more. Elsewhere. The place where Ingvald, Achilles and Magnus were was destroyed, there was fire all over the place. Achilles. They're fine. Magno. Yes. Damn. We made our wishes. But then he ran away. Achilles. I guess this was due to waking him up prematurely. Magno. We must recapture him. Ingvald. But we shouldn't worry about anything else. Magno. What? Ingvald. For the wishes they made. Magno. Shocked Buck. Achilles. Don't worry, you have the red prism. Magno. I left him with my men in the cave. Achilles. But how did you think of doing that? Then a loud bang was heard, the sky outside turned black and lightning struck. Magno. Shit. It started. Achilles. We must get out of here first and gather our men, then we will think about what to do. But Issei. She was with the others, she immediately knew something was wrong. Rias. What's wrong? Isaka. What's going on? Zapdos. Everyone get ready to fight. Akeno. What are you saying? Ravel. Fight against that. At that an explosion was seen on a mountain, and from it slowly came out, red, large, its symbols shining. You didn't have to be a fortune teller to know who it was Groudon. But not the normal one, this one had returned to its original state. With Issei. While analyzing the entire place, he saw Kyogre's body shine, immediately smoke came out of it covering the entire place. Issei. What's going on? Luja. This is strange, I feel life coming from Kyogre's corpse. Rayquaza. Something's wrong. Issei. Don't even say it, but that doesn't matter, Rayquaza. Rayquaza. Here we go. He immediately transformed, ready to fight. Issei. I don't know what's happening, but I'm ready for anything. Blow. At that moment a blow was delivered to Issei's stomach. Luja. Hey Issei, are you? I don't believe it. Rayquaza. Impossible. Issei. Spits blood. I spat blood. Blood came out of my mouth. Luja. But since Rayquaza's defenses are high, Kyogre shouldn't be able to damage you easily, he alone simply isn't enough for something like that. But then the fog cleared, revealing the image of a person. Issei was shocked and horrified when he saw her. Issei. You are impossible. Zenovia. Hi Issei, I see you're still alive, don't worry, I'll kill you. Arc 2. Stories from the past. Finished. Chapter 25. Cold water and hot lava. Arch 3. Starts. Shock. 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 Luja. What the hell is going on here? Issei. And what the hell am I supposed to know? Zenovia was attacking Issei mercilessly, he blocked all her attacks with ease, but he still received damage. Zenovia. Don't think about escaping. Luja. This doesn't make sense, how the hell is Zenovia alive, or rather how the hell did she fuse with Kyogre? Rayquaza. It has to be a contract. Issei. Impossible. Blow. Shock. Creak. The blow hit Issei's chest, the sound of his bones cracking was heard. Luja. It can't be impossible if we're seeing it. Issei. But it doesn't make sense, Kyogre devoured Zenovia a long time ago. Rayquaza. However, that appearance and this strength have no other explanation. Zenovia has formed a contract with Kaiger. Issei. How could that happen? Luja. On the other hand, why is he trying to kill you? Shock. Issei. I don't know. Rayquaza. Stop defending and attacking. Issei. I can't. Issei's body trembled. How could he attack her? She was one of the people I loved the most. How can you hurt something you love? Luja. Issei, be on guard, here he comes. Blow. At that moment Zenovia had given him a blow to the face so powerful that she sent him against the ceiling of the cave. He went through the ceiling and was immediately on the surface, more specifically in the sky. Issei. Spits blood. Luja. Its arms are now giant fins, it lost its fists and gripping ability, but it gained overwhelming strength. Issei. I already realized. My head is dazed. I can't see well. Rayquaza. A bruise caused by the blow. Luja. Issei, we have another problem. Issei. Now what? Luja. Not only Kaiger came back. Issei quickly recovered. By the time he could see clearly, his eyes opened wide and he was surprised to see Groudon. Rayquaza. This is a problem. Luja. We must go stop him. Rayquaza. I doubt we can right now. The waterfall reached the skies, from it slowly came Zenovia. Issei. Zenovia, please listen to me, let's talk. Zenovia. Killing you is more efficient than talking. Shock. Blow. Shock. The clash of arms between the two created strong airwaves. Luja. Lucky it can't use the weather to its advantage. Issei. It's because I have Rayquaza, otherwise she would already be summoning a huge storm. Luja. Then Groudon won't be able to do the same thing, right? Rayquaza. No, he will be able to. Issei. What? Blow. Immediately Zenovia hit Issei's right arm, dislocating it, but then Issei quickly recompassed his arm. Rayquaza. It's been a long time since I saw Groudon in that state, it's not like that time you killed them in their base form, this time is very different. Issei. You define differently. Shock. 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 Zenovia's offensive was overwhelming Issei's defenses. Rayquaza. That state it's in is called primal regression. Issei. What the hell is primal regression? Rayquaza. It consists of a temporary shape change with which Groudon and Kaiger recover their original power. Issei. What? Zenovia. Primal pulse. Immediately the sky darkened, Zenovia summoned a hail of gunfire. Issei quickly flew at high speed dodging the shots, but they didn't seem to stop. Issei. How is that about recovering its original power? Do you mean that the Groudon and Kaiger that I faced in the past did not have all their power? Rayquaza. You could say. Issei. Because I've never heard of this. Rayquaza. Because as far as I know, primal regression is only available for Groudon and Kaiger. Luja. We should be thankful that Zenovia has not yet entered the state of primordial regression, otherwise her power would be superior to yours. Issei. Is there anything that matches or surpasses the power of primal regression? Rayquaza. Of course, as a Pokémon mediator, it is my duty to stop them. In those states, only my Mega Evolution could confront them. Issei. That could be a problem, the last time I used that form, I almost destroyed a continent. Shock. Burst. And that multiple rays hit him, his body was surrounded by wounds. Rayquaza. You can't keep using me defensively, my strong point is my absurd attack, not my defense. Issei. You're right, but I need to think of something. Zenovia. Let's make this easier for both of us, just die. Issei. Zenovia. Why are you doing this? Zenovia. Why am I fighting with Issei? Tremble. At that, Zenovia's body shook, she immediately launched a powerful ray that hit Issei squarely. Issei. As I expected, something is not right. Luja. Something happened to you. Issei. Yes, and you were partly right, Luja. I should have told the girls the whole truth. In fact, I will have to do so. Luja. I don't think she'll let you go. Issei. Well, I need your help on that. Luja. I don't like where this conversation is going. Issei. You'll have to hold her back. Luja. You better be quick. Immediately Luja left Issei's body of her and stood in front of Zenovia. On the other hand, Issei left for the city, where he saw the girls helping the civilians escape. Issei. This is chaos. Rias. I'm here. Issei. How is everything? Rias. That Pokémon that appeared attracted a great uproar, everyone panicked. Bekeno. Also the ground where she walks seems to be turning into lava. Isaka. I guess you know what's going on. Issei. Yes, I will give you a quick explanation. Issei immediately began to explain everything, without omitting any detail or stopping. Ravel. Let me see if I understand, you actually lied to us if you killed Kyogre and Groudon, and now your girlfriend who was supposedly dead is now alive as well as Groudon, she has a contract with Kyogre, and she wants to kill you. Issei. Yes, that's what happened. Ravel. Next time be more honest. Issei. I didn't have the face to tell them that. Rias. Issei, honestly, when I followed you I said that I would be with you through thick or thin, so I don't care if you turn evil and go destroy the world, I'll still follow you. Isaka. I agree with Rias. Ravel. I'm very worried about their preference for Issei to the point of not caring about the destruction of the world. Akeno. I think we should think about what to do, Lugia won't last forever. Ravel. Clearly something is not right with Zenovia, maybe it is not Zenovia who wants to kill you. Issei. You mean that? Ravel. It's probably Kyogre's grudge that's driving Zenovia to attack you, her mind must be very disturbed. Akeno. You must make her see reason, you must reach her through feelings. Issei. I guess there are no other options. Rias. Now that we stop Groudon, I doubt it will be easier for him. Ravel. We have the numerical advantage, as well as having no movement limitations. Rayquaza. That doesn't mean anything, in its primeval state its power is very great, it will devastate the entire Hoenn region. Issei. Rayquaza is right, he won't care about holding back, they should focus on defense. Rias. But since we knocked him out, even if we beat him, he could get up and attack again. Rayquaza. He's right, the only options are to kill him or form a contract. Ravel. How will we form a contract with that thing? Issei. Challenging him in a one-on-one battle. Rayquaza. You're not thinking about. Issei. Yes. The laws of capture. Akeno. Laws of capture. Issei. When a trainer wants to make a contract with a legendary Pokémon, but it did not choose him, more specifically the trainer had a lucky or unfortunate encounter with a legendary Pokémon and wants to catch it, the laws of capture are involved, they were created as a kind of mediator between humans and Pokémon. Rayquaza. Its main function is to establish an agreement between the two parties, the winning human gets his contract. Ravel. And what happens if the Pokémon wins? Rayquaza. Obtain something from you, it can be anything, an antique, a cloth, a valuable object or. Issei. Your life. After Issei's words the whole atmosphere changed completely and became tense. Rayquaza. Of course this depends on the Pokémon, but yes, even your life. Rias. What happens if neither side complies with their agreement? Issei. In the case of humans, the soul is destroyed, your existence is erased, your existence is only present in the memory of the people who knew you until they die or forget you. Rayquaza. In the case of Pokémon, it is the same, with the exception of the legendary ones, since they are important for the balance of the world, their soul is cleansed. Rias cleaned. Issei. It's like formatting a computer, you format the entire operating system and reinstall a new version, it might look the same, but internally it's not the same. Ravel. That's almost like creating a clone only without another body. Rayquaza. That's why evil organizations prefer forced contracts, but I don't recommend making one with Groudon, especially in its primitive state. Issei. I have to go take care of Zenovia, if she and Groudon meet, there will probably be a worse disaster. Rayquaza. Before we go, I want to tell you this, Groudon in its normal state is weak to ice, water and grass, in addition to being a ground type, but now in its primeval state, it is weak to ground and more to water, but now it is ground and fire type. Issei. They should think about it carefully. And that he could see large explosions in the distance. Rayquaza. Lugia won't hold out any longer. Issei. Yes, I have to go. Rayquaza. One more thing, Groudon is immune to electric types, the rest of the types do normal damage to it. With those words, Issei left the place to continue his conflict with Zenovia. Isaka. If it's one-on-one fight that's going to happen, the rest of us will be in charge of acting as a defense. Akeno. Then who of us will go? Ravel. I think Akeno and I are not the right ones. Rias. You're right, Zapdos and Moltres won't be much help in attacking Groudon. Akeno. Then the matter is between Rias and Yasaka. Isaka. In that case I think it should be laughing. Rias. What me? Isaka. Dragonite certainly has water-type moves, but that doesn't mean it's not a semi-legendary Pokémon. Statistically speaking, Groudon is superior to me, but what truly makes you the ideal opponent are your immunities equal to mine. Rias. Perhaps. Isaka. You remember right. Rias. Yes, Ho-Oh and Yveltal are immune to ground-type Pokémon. Isaka. Dragonite is too, but as I said, in terms of power statistically speaking, I think you would be a better opponent. Rias. Then it's decided. Ravel. We must act quickly, I doubt that big guy will stop walking. Immediately they all left towards Groudon, soon Groudon's movement stopped. Groudon. Who dares to bother me? Rias. I'm sorry but I can't let you hurt more innocent people. Watching them, Groudon's eyes shrank and trembled. Groudon. Zapdos, Moltres, Yveltal and a Dragonite, what the hell are you doing with humans? Zapdos. Times have changed Groudon. Groudon. I see that. Moltres. Stop this madness. Groudon. I don't want or care about these humans, the one I want to find is Hyodo Issei. Rias. Why? Groudon. Oh. So there's someone here who knows him. Rias. He's my boyfriend. So yes. Groudon. Well the answer is simple, I wish for Hyodo Issei to kill him. Rias. Unfortunately I can't let that happen. Groudon. And what are you going to do about it? Rias. I challenge you to a one-on-one battle. Groudon. Perhaps I see laws of capture well what do you want? Rias. A contract with you. Groudon. It was to be expected, it is a very rational movement, surely the idea was Hyodo Issei's. Rias. And if you win, what do you want from me? Groudon. Well, naturally there is nothing you can give me, except your life. After his words, everyone prepared for battle because they knew the fight was going to begin. Rias. Okay. Groudon. By the way, if Hyodo Issei told you about the previous me, don't be confused because this current me is at its fullest. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching, if you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day, bye.